1 minute. All terminologies, 1 minute, 1 minute, 1 minute, 1 minute. So starting now. All right. Number 2, the structure of the sperm that contains enzymes. People are giving me answers. Thank you so much. Say Sabelo. Yes, we say that is the acrosome. They're saying the site of fertilization. Guys, I'm just going through now very fast. Ne? Yes, the site of fertilization in human. Site of fertilization in humans. What's the answer? What's the answer? I don't see someone telling me. People online telling me it is called the fallopian tube. The visual defect caused by uneven curvature of the cornea. Uneven curvature of the cornea. It is astigmatism. Yes, I see someone saying it there. Then they are saying that the nerve that transmits impulse from the eye to the brain. Seeing people there said yes, optic nerve. Thank you so much, guys. Yes, I'm seeing the answers there. The disease characterized by the degeneration of the brain cells and the memory loss. Yes, I saw someone saying Alzheimer's disease. Correct. They're saying the inner layer of the uterus that thickens during the menstrual cycle. Sabelo said endometrium. Yes, Patricia, I see you. Okay, correct. Endometrium. Hollow ball of cell that forms during embryonic development. We said hollow ball. When you say, because we have the ball of cells and then hollow ball of cells. The ball of cell is called morula, and then the hollow ball of cell is called blastula. So the answer, yes, it is blastula. Okay. They are saying that the period of development of secondary sexual characteristics, we call it puberty. Yes, I saw someone saying it. Someone is asking me that is saying sir, it is not a station tube. What are you talking about? It's not a station tube. I don't know which question are you talking about. Which question is saying about? They're saying that did we talk about a station tube here? I don't think we talked about a station tube. Maybe you're talking about this. The structure in the ear that absorbs excess pressure from, it's a round window. This is a round window. It's not a station tube, guys. It is a round window. I don't know whether I said a station tube, but it is a round window. Then they're saying that the period of development of secondary sexual characteristics, we say that is puberty, the type of vision where both eyes are and focus onto the object. We call it binocular. So guys, you must be knowing that. Then they're saying that the plant hormone that stimulates the germination of seeds, we said it is the gibberellins. So guys, people who are joining us, make sure that you mute yourself. Yes. Then we go to the next question. We got the next question. It says it's gibberellins. They are saying that the part of the brain that connects the left and the right hemisphere, connect the left and the right hemisphere. So you remember the brain. So it is what you call the corpus callosum. Corpus callosum. So remember, guys, when you're answering this question, make sure that you use A only, B only, both A and B. Don't say A, don't say B, don't say A, B, A and B, or A, comma B. These ones will cross them. Make sure that you follow the instructions the way they are. Yes. They're saying that, thank you so much, Portia. They're saying that the part of the brain that connects, so we are done with that, the liquid found in the front chamber of the eye, we call it aqueous humor. Aqueous humor, so the answer is B only. Thank you. So we go to the next question. 1.4, the diagram below shows the part of the eye that under the different conditions. Remember that, guys, when it comes to the eye, this is when they say different conditions. Look at this. So here there are two mechanisms which we see here. We have the dim light and the bright light. Then we also have, just a moment. We have dim light and bright light. We also have the far and near object. So why am I saying that? So remember that when they bring a question about dim light and bright light, that is the pupillary mechanism. So here you only talk about the iris. iris. So you talk about the iris and then you talk about the pupil. So if it is, that is pupillary mechanism, that is in dim and bright light. Yes, that is pupillary mechanism. But when you talk about the lens, the suspensory ligament, the suspensory uh, ligament, and then you talk about the ciliary muscles, then that is the accommodation. Accommodation. That is accommodation. So make sure that when you look at this question, you have to analyze it properly. So if you look at this lens, you see that the lens is small. Remember I said that when you are viewing an object which is far, the lens must be small. Why? Because the object is far. So that's how you remember it. The object is far, then the object looks small, then the lens must be small. When you're viewing an object which is near, the object is big and the lens must be what? Big. But we don't call it big. We say that we call it more convex. So this one is more convex, and then this one is less convex. So even this one is less convex, this one is more convex. So now if you look at this, it means that diagram C and diagram D, it shows that this is a near object. Remember, near object is 6 meters and less than 6 meters. That is near object. While this one, if you look at the lens, it is the far object. So now it means that diagram A and the diagram A and diagram B, it is far object, while diagram C and diagram D is a near object. So I'm going to say this is a far object, this is a near object. But now, why? Why am I saying that? Because I'm looking at the lens. I'm looking at the what? The lens. This is far because it is small, near because it is thick, meaning that it's more convex. But if I look at the size of the pupil now, remember I said that dim and bright light, we look at the size of the pupil. Let me use a different color so that I'm able to differentiate it. So if you look at this, the size of the pupil, check, then check, and then check. Remember, in a dim light, I require large amount of light. Therefore, A is dim. A is look at the pupil is small, pupil is small, meaning that then you have bright light. In the bright light, if you look at the sun, you try to close the eyes, which means that the eyes, if they are being closed, it means that you require less light. So it means that if you look at the pupil now, yes, A is going to be for bright light, and also C is going to be for bright light. While B, if you look at B, it is big. The pupil is big. The size between the iris is what? Is big. So B becomes dim light, and also B becomes dim light. In actual sense, if I look now, let me classify them. If I look at the pupil, it shows it is uh, bright light. But if I look at the lens, it is a far object. It is so this individual is bright light, is looking into a bright light with a far object, while this one is looking at a dim light. But if you look at the lens, it is a far object, dim light but far object. Well, if you look at this one is bright light, but check the lens, it is a nearby object. And then this one, you look at this one, it is a dim light but a nearby object. So when you are trying to explain this, you need to know exactly what you are trying to mean. Yes, please, I repeat this, the question might not come like this, but don't confuse what you explain during dim light and bright light versus accommodation. In accommodation, we look at the lens, we look at the suspensory ligament, and we look at the ciliary muscles. That's it. Please don't talk about the suspensor. Sorry, don't talk about the iris and the pupil when it comes to when it comes to accommodation. Please. Okay, now we continue. Now let me clear it up. So now we have seen it. Let me clear it up. Now we're able to uh, 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 Just a small issue, guys. Just a moment, just a moment. Something happened. I don't know. Technical issues. This thing of technology. 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 Okay, let me find out what is the problem. Okay, but I'll get it. Okay. Means that the file is lost. The file is lost from the system. Okay, right. Okay, let me check it here. Yes, let me use this. I hope it's gonna work out for me. Yeah, properly. Thank you. Oh, yeah. Right. Now we go back to our discussion. Discussion. So where are we? So I was explaining that. So you guys, when we go back to our distinction material book, we remember that that please, I repeat that when it comes to that, I'm just going there so that I don't waste too much time trying to explain it and then writing everything down because of the minimum time we have. So you see, this is what I was saying, that if you look at an object which is far, yes, far, the lens is gonna be less convex. If you look at the object which is near, check the lens is what is big enough. We call it more convex. While object which is far, the lens is what is small. Then number two, we look at this. We look at the suspensor ligament. We say that the suspensor ligament, guys, please, they become they slacken. They slacken. In actual sense, we don't say relax. Please don't use the word relax because we're gonna cross it. We call it slacken, or they loosen. Yes, they loosen or they slacken. So you see that that is loosening, not relaxing. Then the ciliary muscles, they are the one which contract. So please know that. So if a distant object, you will see that the lens is less convex, and then the suspensor ligament become more they become more taut. They become taut, meaning that they are tightened. Yes, they don't contract, they don't relax. I repeat, suspensor ligaments don't contract, don't relax. When they ask you near object, a far object, please, I repeat, lens, ciliary muscles, and then suspensory ligaments. And then when they ask you dim and bright light, yes, dim and bright light, what do you use? We use two things also. We use what? Two things. That is the let me just use this diagram again. We use this, the iris, and then we use the space in between the iris, which is the pupil. And then we say that we have muscles which, if this is the pupil up and the pupil down, we have muscles which run like this, which we call circular muscles, because they run like this in a circular way. So we call them circular muscles. And then we have the one which run like this, which we call the radial muscles. We say that radial muscles, they can relax or contract, and the circular muscles can relax or contract. So when you say circular muscles relax and radial muscles contract, or circular muscles contract, radial muscles relax, it means that that is when, if it's like this, it means that is bright light. Why? Because in bright light, we don't mix them up. Yes. So radial muscles relax, circular muscles contract. So R is gonna go with R, C is gonna go with the C. But in bright light, what happens? We open our eyes, or we close our eyes. We close our eyes. We try to reduce the amount of light entering the eye. It means that now the pupil will constrict, meaning that less light. If you compare that with this, check, the pupil here is too big. Here the pupil, you see it's too big. If you compare the dim light and bright light, you see that this is bright light, this is dim light. Check the size of the pupil and check the size of the pupil. Check it here and check it there. So it means that you're able to answer those questions properly. All right, we go. So here I'm explaining it a little bit more so that when I bring you another example, it is easy. I'll just flow. I'll be just flowing. All right, then they're asking you a question. Let's just answer some of these questions and then we continue. They're saying that they name the process that occur when the curvature of the eye changes to focus a nearby object. So how do we call that process? Name the process that occurs when the curvature of the eye changes to focus a near or a distance object. So we call it accommodation. Let me see if I have some people answering me. Right? They're saying that the pupil size change to regulate pupil size. You see, they don't talk about the lens to allow how much light is entering the eye. Whenever they talk about pupillary mechanism, pupillary mechanism. When they ask you to explain pupillary mechanism, pupillary mechanism. Please don't forget that. They're saying that give the letter and of two diagram A, B, C, D that represents the condition of the eye in dim light. So we explain this. Dim light, we say that you look at the pupil, you see that the pupil is big, the pupil is big. So it means that it's gonna be B and it's gonna be D. And then focusing a distant object, you look at the lens is supposed to be small. Remember, distant object, we say that the lens is supposed to be small. So it means that here is the lens is small, here the lens is small. So I'm gonna say it is gonna be A, it's gonna be B. You see? So you guys, you need to know how to apply the eye because the eye is about application. Then we go to the next question. Give the letter of the two diagrams A, B, C, D that represents the eye of a person whose ciliary muscles contract. Now I remember they're saying ciliary muscles. Remember when they talk about ciliary muscles, remember that where is it found? Remember you have the lens, you have suspensory ligament, and then you have the ciliary muscles. So it means that that is accommodation. And remember when the ciliary muscles contract, the ciliary muscles contract, the suspensory ligament must slacken. You understand? And then the tension on the lens must decrease. If the tension on the lens decreases, I gave an example of a balloon. Yes, when the tension on the lens decreases, what will happen? The lens is going to become more convex. And the moment the lens becomes more convex, it means that that is a nearby object because the lens is big enough. So which diagram do we have the lens is fat, is big? Don't call it fat. So I see it is C and I see it is D. So the answer becomes suspensory. Uh, yes, say C and D. So it's gonna be C and D. They are saying that the radial muscles relax. Radial muscles. When do we find radial muscles? Guys, I repeat, don't confuse the radial muscles with the ciliary muscles. Radial muscles, they run radially. Oh, they run like this. Circular muscles, they run like this. So that is the pupillary mechanism. So now when you say radial muscles, relax. And then when you say radial muscles, relax. And then circular muscles, contract. When do we have this? That is, we don't mix things up. Radial muscles, relax R with the R, meaning that we don't mix these things up. So what am I supposed to do? What am I supposed to do? What am I supposed to do here? So here we are saying that radial muscles relax, circular muscles contract. When do I don't mix them up in the bright light? Meaning that the diameter of the pupil will constrict. I'm gonna have a small pupil, so I'll go back and I will check the diameter of the pupil constrict. Okay, meaning that I will have where the pupil is small. So I'm having the pupil is small here and the pupil is small here. You see? So it means that it's going to be A and it's going to be C. So I'll come back here and I will say that it's going to be A and it's going to be C. Because they said, if you look at the marks, there are two marks. So if you guys look at this, if the way they bring the eye, they can bring it in different versions. They can bring it through the graphs we have discussed about these questions. Please make sure that you smash that question. Let's go to the reflex. Question number 2, reflex arc. All right. Yes, I see my time for prayer is about to reach, so it means that I'll let you know. Mm-hmm. Let me ask you, people who are with us here. Where are you? Uh-uh. That one is smiling. Okay. All right. Rollins, are you okay? Rollins, don't just look at me like that. I'm asking. All right. We got the next question, guys. Let's go the next question. The reflex arc. The reflex, see? The reflex arc. All right. Guys, when you look at the reflex arc, it's a simple thing. There are some questions which you need to ask you and you answer me. Make sure that you answer them very well. Let me just draw this reflex arc in a simple way so that you're able to answer those questions. Some of the questions, after that, we're going to just, I call it Mr. M. Yes, Mr. M and Mrs. W. Yes, Mr. M and Mrs. W. They have your bow tie there. Cool. And then two samosas. And then I have the sensory neuron with the cell body there. Then I have the synapse. Then I have another synapse. Then I have the ventral root comes out. And then I have the muscles there. Then I have here. Yes. Mm, yeah, something like that. Let me check something here. You see that some information is not being shown. I think it is about this system. Okay, guys, let me just check here. I see that some information is not being shown here. Yep. Okay. Yes. Yes. Yeah. I think let me make it like that because some information was not being shown. I think it's better like that. People who are online. Zezi, I see you guys. Princess, I see you guys. Nomusa, I see you guys. Yolanda, I see you guys. Yes, thank you for joining. And then, yeah. All right, let's continue now to our discussion. We are saying that, yes, so this is the, if I put a finger here, so the finger is gonna be your receptor. I have sensory neuron. I have this space here where the neuron is entering from. We call it. Uh, uh, what's happening? What's happening? Okay. Because now I have some challenge which can I have someone in the chat to tell it? Yeah, I'm seeing people saying, Williams, you're panicking. Please don't panic because you're gonna pass. All right, now let's continue. Since we know that, now we need to know this that what will happen if A is blocked? If A is blocked, that is meaning that the sensory neuron is blocked. It means that the person will not be able to feel the pain, but will be able to respond. And if motor neuron is damaged, the person will not be able to feel. The person will not be able to respond, but will be able to detect the what? The stimulus. So another question they can ask you here is, what is the reflex arc? Reflex arc is a pathway covered by the impulse during the reflexive action. Guys, it's not a pathway traveled by the impulse. No. It's not a pathway traveled by the impulse to bring about the stimulus. No, it's a pathway traveled by the impulse during the reflex action, because it is not, because it can go to the brain. This pathway must be related to the spinal cord. At least your answer must be related to the spinal cord, or it must be related to reflex action. If you don't do that, then it means that your answer is going to be wrong. So some people, they define it as a pathway traveled by the impulse to bring about a stimulus, to bring about a response. Which response? Is it a reflex action? It could be a different response, but it is not a reflexy action. So it must be like that. So another question they can ask you, what is the function of the reflex action? It is used for to protect the body from harm. Then another question they can ask you is what is the function of the synapse? The synapse, this one, what's the function of the synapse? It allows impulse to move in one direction. And then it can also ask you, what is the synapse? A synapse is a junction between two or more neurons, you see? So you need to know these terminologies, and you need to know. And then they can ask you, give the path. When they say the path, they're asking you that they say this is A, this is B, this is C. So you tell us that a receptor, then sensory neuron, motor neuron, then connector neuron, and then motor neuron, and then effector. That is the pathway. Yes. So basically, that's what you describe. But if they ask you to describe the whole process, now you describe the process of the reflexy action. Yes. All right. So we go to the next question now. Let's look at it. Now we know what is it. What is A? Look at it. Where is it coming from? If you look at A comes like this, and then it goes like this, then out. Meaning that if you look at A is a sensory neuron, and then B is a connector neuron. And then the gap between the two, it is called a synapse. So D is a synapse, and then C becomes the motor neuron. So that is the neuron. So this is the effector. So this one was supposed to be connected to the the receptor. So now the question comes in. They're saying that label this. Guys, we have three diagrams we can ask you to draw in paper one. That is the first diagram. It must be the structure of the sperm, the structure of the ovum, and the structure of the neurons. So you need to know how to draw the structure of the what? Of the neuron. So this is a neuron. The cell body is along the neuron, meaning that that is a sensory neuron. So the sensory neuron, it has what you call the dendrite. Check the transmission of the impulse. So this becomes the dendrite, yes, and then this becomes the cell body, and then this becomes the axon, yes. So then the part, this one, the protection, the one which protects it, this one, yes, we call it a sheath, myelin sheath. Someone saying that it's not a gap between neurons. Synapse pathway traveled by the impulse. It is the myelin sheath. All right. All right. They're saying that. So F becomes the what? It becomes the what? The F becomes the zone. So they can ask you, what is this? The dendrite. The dendrite is the part. Um, Mm, internet, stop it. The dendrite is the part which is which brings the impulse to the cell body, while the axon is the part which takes impulse away from the cell body. So you need to know that the cell body has what you call the nucleus. The nucleus is responsible for inheritance and also controls the cell's activities. Yes. So guys, let me answer these questions, and then I will go for a short break specifically for the prayer. Yeah, I'm a Muslim. So I cannot miss a prayer. All right, we continue. So we are saying that identify what is layer E. So we say the layer E is myelin sheath. What is structure F? Structure F is axon because the cell body is here. Any part which is after the cell body is the axon. Then we're saying that which neuron A, B, C, which one is A, B, C? If we come back here, we shall say that this neuron is a cell, this the sensory neuron. So because of this ganglion, then it means that is A. That is the neuron which is being shown in diagram 2. Then we go to the next question. They're saying that represent a type of neuron shown in diagram 2. So we have seen it. If damaged, when the person can feel but cannot respond, the person can feel, meaning that you are able to detect the stimulus, but you cannot respond to the stimulus, meaning that it is the motor neuron which is being damaged. Yes, it is the motor neuron which is being damaged. So it means that it's neuron C, and then they are saying that give the letter and the name of the part that ensures that there is unidirectional flow of impulse, meaning that the impulse moves in one direction. So guys, when they bring this, make sure that you kick it, you smash it. Ne? So the answer becomes the synapse. We say that the synapse allows impulse to move in one direction. So if I reload and then I clean it up, so we shall see that the space is this space which we say that it is the synapse. So the answer becomes D. So now I think guys, you know what is the synapse. The only thing which we have not talked about is when this myelin sheath has degenerated. So when the myelin sheath degenerates, it is called someone is saying the mic is off. The mic is off. The mic is off. There's someone saying mic is off. I don't think the mic is off. All right. So we say that we call it a degeneration of the myelin sheath. So it is as a result of it is as a result of when it degenerates, we call it multiple sclerosis. Yes, I was waiting for R&B, fanfani, hippie, hip hop, hip hop. Oh, hip hop. Okay. Yes. You got it right. No, I can hear you. Thank you, Zianda. All right. So we got the next question. It's the brain. All right. So guys, I'm going to give you 5 minutes so that yes, I can also service myself. 5 minutes. Make sure that you label everything here, and then after that, make sure that everything goes well on your side. All right. Make sure that you label everything. Ne? Let me just do it a little bit smaller so that you are much guys for those people who have been waiting for us and actually I've prayed for you so that you guys you can pass. So my happiness is to see you guys when you have passed, and I know you're gonna do it. All right, let's go through the questions and then we see what we can talk about this. All right, we have A. We need to know how to label everything. For this one, Sere. Someone saying we don't see who. You want to see me? All right, we have what you call the cerebellum. Let me check and see that. Yeah, the mic is right. We have cerebellum. Cerebellum. We have medulla oblongata. Guys, this one is called the pons. We don't label it. We want only this medulla oblongata. We have the pituitary gland. Yes, there. Then you have the hypothalamus, and then we have the hemisphere, which we call the cerebrum. Now they're saying that, how do we protect the brain? We say that the brain is being protected by the cranium, number one. Number two, by the cerebrospinal fluid. Number three, by the meninges, the three membranes which are found on the brain. Yes, that's how we protect the brain. If they ask you, that is the cranium, the meninges, and the cerebrospinal fluid. That's how the brain being protected. Then we have the bundle of fibers which connects the left and the right hemisphere. We call it corpus. corpus callosum. Yes, or callosum. All right. Then we have this part of the brain. We say that that is the one for memory, reasoning, and judgment. That is a center for higher thought processes. Number two, cerebrum is also responsible for all voluntary actions. It receives. Number three, it receives and interprets all sensations. So you have to know three of them at least. Then this one cerebellum is responsible for muscle tone, that is balance muscle tone, and then is also for it coordinates all voluntary movements, coordinates voluntary movement. Then they are saying that now we have the medulla oblongata. This one is responsible for all it's responsible for all involuntary actions. All involuntary actions. Guys, don't confuse involuntary action and reflex actions, because involuntary action, it is like peristalsis. That's when you are swallowing, the food is going down, breathing, heartbeat. That is involuntary actions. Those are the involuntary actions. But reflex actions, those are actions which protect the body from danger, and those are being controlled by the spinal cord. So please, you need to know that. Please don't confuse them. The hypothalamus is a center for thirsty, hunger, emotions. All that is being controlled by hypothalamus, and also temperature. So that is it. Intercept all sensations. Huh? Receives and interprets all sensations. Yes. All right, then let's go to the question. They're saying that what is A? We say that is cerebellum. Two functions of D. Where is D now? D, we say that is a center for higher thought processes. That's the reasoning, memory, and judgment. Center for higher thought processes. Yes, memory, reasoning, and judgment. And we can bring it in terms of an example of a memory. Memorizing a cell phone number. Which part of the brain is responsible for memorizing the cell phone number? So you need to know that that is cerebrum. Then we have the hormone, two functions. We say that it uh, uh, Zippo is saying that connects all voluntary action. No, it doesn't connect all voluntary actions. It controls all voluntary actions. The word must be there. Controls all voluntary actions. Please, when you are writing the answers, it must be there are some words we are looking for. Yes. All right. They're saying that name the hormone that is secreted by C. Which C? C is the pituitary gland. For example, it produces a lot of hormones, but they're saying long bones. That is growth hormone. Don't say GH. Write it full. Growth hormone. Then mammary gland in the breast, that is prolactin. Yes, that is prolactin. State one way in which the brain is protected. Okay, we have seen it by the meninges. We don't say skull. If you say skull, we're gonna give you a 0 with happiness and with the eyes. Please don't say that. Don't say skull. It's easy. Cranium. Yes. Describe the role of hypothalamus in thermoregulation. Now this one, people who are writing their major, now you can describe the role of hypothalamus. Yes, so I'm gonna look at this one separately when I look at thermoregulation. Yes, so I'll come back to it. I want to first cover up the first questions. They are saying that the part B is involved in homeostatic control of carbon dioxide. Then also this one, I'll see them after, but let me just answer it. Part B is homeostatic control of carbon dioxide. Remember, we said that when there is too much carbon dioxide in the body, it will be detected by the carotid artery in the neck, and then it will send the impulse to medulla oblongata. All right, what are they saying? State the location of the receptor that are stimulated by the increase in carbon dioxide. Okay, they're all right. I've just explained it. That is found in the neck. We call them carotid artery. They are found in what? In the neck. Then two receptors that B sends impulse to. Two receptors, oh, not receptor, two effectors. When is you have too much carbon dioxide in the body, where does it go? It goes where exactly, man? It goes to the heart and the lungs. Yes. Why the heart? So that it can pump blood, so that is being eliminated out of the body. And sorry, to the heart, so that it can pump more blood, so that the blood can take oxygen to the muscles, and then also it can take the carbon dioxide from the muscles, and then the lungs, so that it can bring in more oxygen and then expel the carbon dioxide out. Yeah, so basically that is it. All right, let's go to all right. Okay, okay, let's go to this. Have I exhausted all the questions about this? So guys, I think that is it. I've tried to exhaust most of the questions about this. I think I would just have to look at the ear, but I'll look at it and then I'll also discuss about it. Let's go to question 2.2. This is the structure of a testis, but now I'm looking for the male reproductive structure. Remember, when you talk about the male reproductive structure, you need to know all the parts which are involved. Yes, so make sure that you know how to label the male reproductive structure in that regard. Yes, you see, we like it to bring it like that, and then the function of each. Yes. Then some of the questions which they can ask you here is, why are testes hung outside? Basically, they hang outside to provide favorable temperature for sperm production. That is 2 to 3 degrees, 2 to 3 degrees less than the body temperature. Don't say 2 to 3 degrees. What? 2 to 3 degrees less than the body temperature. Yeah, so the favorable temperature for sperm production. Yes. So our sperms are produced less than the temperature of the what? Of the body. So then we go to the next question. They are saying that they can ask you that if you, for example, you cut the epididyme, the vas deferens, will the person be able to impregnate someone? No, because now the sperms cannot, yes, cannot be transferred to urethra. You understand why? Because you have cut this. So they can ask you what's the function of the testes. Then you tell us testes produce the testosterone, also production of sperms. The function of epididymis, stores sperms temporarily. And then vas deferens, this transport sperm from epididymis to urethra. Cowpass gland, yes, I say that this one we have changed the way how we set it, but now you people are writing May, June, you still have the same setting. So cowpass gland, so here we have the cowpass gland, you have the seminal vesicle, and then you have the prostate gland. The cowpass gland produces mucus which lubricates the sperm so that there is a movement. Yes. Prostate gland, alkaline fluid, which neutralizes the acidity of the vagina. And then seminal vesicles. This one is very important for production of fructose, like the food for the what? For the food. Uh-huh. Okay, Zippo or Zippo. All right, I'll come back here. Don't stress about it, about the thermoregulation. All right, so now we go back to our question. Then another question which they can ask you now, we have seen it. Which cells responsible for production of cells which are responsible for production of testosterone? We call them what? Cells of Leydig. You see, cells of Leydig. Don't forget the spelling, and then the cells which are responsible for nourishing the developing sperms, we call them Sotoli cells. Sotoli cells. So now we go back to our question, and then we see what is A. We say A, it is vas deferens. What is B? It is epididymis. And what is C? C is a testis. So identify what is A. We know now what is A. We have said it is vas deferens. Function of B, it stores sperms temporarily. You see, now you know the answers. During vasectomy, we have talked about it. Part A is cut, and as shown in the diagram, okay, yes, we cut it, all right. What happens? Semens will not be released during copulation, explaining the composition of semen after vasectomy. So basically, the composition of semen is going to be having this. It's going to be having the fluid from this, and this. That is the fluid from the cowpass gland, the fluid from the prostate gland, and the fluid with the seminal vesicle. Yes, but it will have no sperms. It will have no what? Sperms. So that it will have no sperms. It will only have this the fluid from the seminal vesicles, cowpass gland, and the prostate gland. In case of in rare cases, male are born with part C located inside the body because it fails to descend. Sorry for those ones. We pray that we get kids who are able to descend their testes. All right. Explain how this condition might affect the fertility of the male. Yes, there will be low sperm production. Yes, if there is no sperm production, because sperms are produced at temperature below the body temperature. So, meaning that now they won't be able to produce enough sperms because the testes don't have the temperature which is required by the sperms to be produced. You understand? Yes. So, so I think that is it. You guys, you are getting it. Yeah. So you guys, if you have a question, you let me know, guys. Yeah, you let me know in the comment. People who have questions, those people are on Zoom. Yes, please raise up your hand. I will be able to see your hand, and then I'll be able to ask you to unmute, and then you are able to ask your question. Yes, we got the next question. Describe the process of spermatogenesis. This one is the same thing. These are the processes which, guys, I don't need even to repeat. I say that you need to know. Don't complex yourself. It is a simple process which requires you. So remember that the formation of gametes is called gametogenesis. So they can bring it in a terminology of which it can be sperms or it can be ovum. If it is sperms, then it becomes spermatogenesis. Remember, you guys, you read the Bible. Genesis. What does it mean? Beginning. Beginning of sperms, spermatogenesis. Beginning of the ovum, oogenesis. So describe the process of oogenesis or spermatogenesis. You need to know where does it occur, which hormone is responsible for that, and then which hormone is responsible for that, and then what does it produce. Basically, that's it. Nothing else. Nothing else. For example, don't go for the complex process. No. Look at spermatogenesis is the formation of sperms. If they ask you describe the process, you tell us spermatogenesis is a mark. But here in this question, they are saying describe the process of spermatogenesis. So you don't need to tell us that is called spermatogenesis because they have said it. So you see that is 4 marks. So it's a simple process. You say that under the influence of testosterone, we give you a mark. The diploid cells in the seminiferous tube undergoes meiosis. So it's a mark, undergoes meiosis to form 4 haploid sperm cells. Simple. The 4 marks are there. We don't want a lot of information. Don't stress yourself. That's what we want. If another book is saying you something else, sorry. This is what we want. All right. We go to the next question. They are saying that 2.4. So wena zindli mute. Okay, so we go to the next question. Describe how the development of the embryo is protected and nourished in the oviparous organisms. How are the development of the embryo and the development of the embryo, yes, protected and nourished? If it is asking you just like that, it's a simple thing. If it's saying ovoviviparous, now you need to remember what is viviparous, oviviparous, and what is viviparous, what is oviparous, and what is ovoviviparous. This is what I mean. Yes, this is what I mean. So I'm not going to do. Remember, vivi means inside. Ovo VV means inside. The development is inside the uterus. Ne? Don't say inside the body, the female's body. Inside the uterus, yes. And then the embryo is obtaining nutrients from the mother through the placenta. These are the key points we are looking at. So that is viviparous. Then ovo. And what about oviparous? Oviparous, the development is outside the female's body. Yes. So meaning that the nutrients are being obtained from egg yolk. It means that it has a well-developed egg yolk. Yes. Then they're saying that ovoviparous, that's what you want. They're saying that the development is inside the female's body, but the embryo obtains nutrients from the egg yolk. It doesn't obtain nutrients from the placenta. That's why you say VV, which means inside the female's body, but ovo comes from the ovum, which obtain nutrients from the egg yolk. So how is this being protected? So basically, we just need to look at the four layers which we need to talk about. Those are what you call the extra embryonic membranes. That is chorion, allantois, yolk sac. Yes, those are the layers you're supposed to talk about. Those are the layers. The chorion, the yolk sac, the allantois. So that what is amnion doing, what is chorion doing, what is allantois doing, and what is the yolk sac doing. And then you'll be able to get these marks. You tell us the chorion, what does it do? Yes, if it is respiration, for example. If you talk about allantois, it's gaseous exchange. Cool. Then you tell us the amnion. Yes, it is also protection, shock absorber. All right. Or cushion. Then you tell us yolk sac provides nutrients. You got the marks, man. You got the marks. There are 8 marks there, and then you are able to get the 7 out of 8. You're able to get 7 out of 7. Yes. So you guys, you see, you're able to get them. Let's go to the ear. I will come back to the before I go to the ear. Let me just finish up the male reproductive structure. Let me just talk about the structure of the sperm. This guys, you can't go to the paper without knowing the structure of the sperm. You want to be what? Hey, girls, I know you know this structure very well more than the boys. Okay. Yes, I know that. I didn't say that you like this structure. I said you know. So don't quote me wrong. All right, we continue. Listen, what I saying, can you please also upload tourism? Listen, how can you say that, man? I'm in the live class of life science. Okay, I'll ask the management to upload tourism. All right, we continue. Remember, guys, the sperm, you are a sperm. You are a moving sperm. You are a moving sperm. Did you know that? Yeah. So remember, you have a head. Cool. Also, the sperm has a head. Don't you know that your head is pointed? Yeah, your head is pointed. Guys, make sure that you know how to draw a real structure of a sperm. Actually, make sure that you know how to draw yourself. You can't fail yourself. You have the brain. The sperm also has the nucleus. You see, you have the teeth to break. Also, the sperm has the what? The teeth, which we call the acrosome. Yes, it has the mouth actually. Inside we have the enzymes which help in breaking the what? The food. Also, you have the teeth. You see that you a sperm. Okay. You have the neck. Also, the sperm has the neck. You have a chest. Also, the sperm has a chest. Are you a moving sperm? Are you still denying? So when I call you moving sperm, say yes, sir. All right. We continue. Just I need to draw here the proportionality bit. I bet. And then now, yes. What do you do with the chest? The chest is to provide, you provide what? The energy. Obviously, the sperm also had this middle piece which provides energy. Then you have legs, Remember, your legs are longer than the body. So even the tail is supposed to be long enough. Yes. Remember that the legs, when they're coming from top, they are big enough. And then as they're going down, they are small. They become smaller. You see? So you're moving sperm. So sperm, say yes, sir. All right. Now, since I know how to draw the structure of a sperm, guys, don't draw your diagrams like this. See, you see this is the sperm. Some people, they don't care about their marks. It's like you don't care about your future. Draw something properly. Yes, okay. Now, questions about this. How do you label this? Label this. This is acrosome. This is acrosome. This is nucleus. This is nucleus. This is the middle piece. Middle piece. This is the mitochondrion. The mitochondrion. This is the tail. This is the tail of flagella. And then now they can ask you a question. How is the sperm adapted for fertilization? How is the sperm adapted for fertilization? So now you're gonna tell me. You remember? You remember that sperm is adapted for fertilization because it has the acrosome which contains enzymes which digest the membrane of the ovum. Guys, don't mess up. Acrosome does not digest the membrane of the ovum for fertilization. No, it is not your mouth to bite. It is the teeth inside the mouth to bite. So the enzymes inside the acrosome are the one which bite, are the one which break down the membrane of the ovum so that fertilization can take place. Wabona. Yeah. So acrosome contains enzymes which digest the membrane of the ovum for sperms to digest the membrane of ovums, for sperm to fertilize the what? The ovum. So acrosome is done. So we have the nucleus. Whenever you talk about the nucleus, is for genetic inheritance, and also you talk about controlling the cell activities, right? Actually, you resemble your father because of the sperm he gave you. So if your father didn't give you a sperm, what does it mean? Right, let me leave it. Today I was telling you that the sperm is a sperm in English is a sperm. In English is called a seed. In science is called a sperm. Anyway, guys, please don't panic. Tomorrow you're gonna pass. You're gonna pass, ne? Yeah. Right. They're saying that the middle piece it contains mitochondrion which provide energy. But the question is asking you, how is the sperm adapted for fertilization? So you talk about the nucleus and you also talk about the acrosome. How is the sperm adapted for locomotion? You talk about the pointed shape. The pointed shape. The pointed shape. It is pointed in front to reduce resistance during what? During movement. You understand? Then it has a middle piece which contains mitochondria, which provides energy for sperm movement. Then you have the tail, which which provides the propulsion force, the forward movement. Yes, for the sperm to move. To locomote. So, guys, I say that a sperm is supposed to be known how to be drawn. You have to know that. You want it or not? You have to know how to draw the neuron, the sensory neuron, the motor neuron. Connect a neuron on that really, but you can also try it. All right, we go to now our question. Let's go to the ear. There is a question here. They are telling me that I didn't see it. Describe the development of the placenta and the umbilical cord from the time of implantation. So we're gonna look at it when we go to. There is a question which I've prepared. So I will talk about it when I come back to that question. All right. Which page is this? Okay. Let me note it down. They're saying that. Sir, you are also moving sperm. Yeah. How can you say that? No, I'm not a moving sperm. I provide the moving sperms. All right. They're saying that the diagram below show represents the part of the human ear with the middle infection. Right? Let's label, guys. Let's label. What is A is a pinna. What's the plural for pinna? Comment it in the section below. Pinna. If there are many, how do they call them? I don't know. What is B? It is the auditory canal. Then what is C is the tympanic membrane. What is D? The oscars. What is E? That is semicircular canals. Then what is F? F is oval window. You see that is oval. ne, is oval, but this one is called round window. Then this one is called the Eustachian tube. Eustachian tube. All right, we continue. So if they ask you a question about this, questions which they're gonna ask you, not like this. Question they might ask you, ne? Yes, question they might ask you. All right, question one. Describe the hearing process. So here you just talk about the part function, part function, part function, part function, then part function. That is hearing. You see those parts I've talked about? The pinna collects sound wave and directs it into the auditory canal. The auditory canal transmits the sound vibration, the sound wave to the tympanic membrane. The tympanic membrane vibrates and then transmits the vibration to the oscos. The oscos amplify the vibration and then takes the vibration to the oval window. The oval window creates a pressure wave in the inner ear, and then the organ of Corti contains the cochlea contains organ of Corti which are stimulated. They are stimulated and then to convert the stimulus into a nerve impulse. The nerve impulse is transmitted along the auditory nerves to the brain for interpretation. That is hearing. You just look at part and function, part and function, part and function. So please don't go without knowing that. Right. The other question which they can ask you, what is the function of the round window? That one is absorbs excess pressure from the inner ear. What is the function of a Eustachian tube? A Eustachian tube equalizes pressure on the either side of the tympanic membrane. Then they ask you, what will happen if this middle ear is blocked, is filled with a fluid? It means that now it will create a pressure on the inner side of the tympanic membrane. You understand? And then causing the tympanic membrane to burst, leading to deafness. You see? Yeah. So how can we basically, what causes this fluid to accumulate in the middle ear? It's because of the pathogens, the bacteria. The bacteria, what do? They cause, they accumulate this fluid. Then in number two, how do we treat them? Because it's a bacterial disease. Therefore, we use what we call antibiotics. Number two, we also cut the tympanic membrane, which we call the surgery, and then we allow the fluid to move out using the grommets. These structures called what? The grommets. So I don't want to go there. Just to remind you guys, so that you don't forget this. Yes, this is what I'm trying to say. Yeah, we call them the grommets. So we insert it inside here. You see how it is being inserted. Let me zoom it out, how it is being inserted. And then once you insert it in there, and then the fluid will start to drain out. And then that middle ear infection is being helped. So when the fluid is inside, it will prevent the saturation of air. It will prevent the saturation of the air in the middle ear. So they can also ask you a question that how is the middle ear, the accumulation of the fluid prevents causes, no, how is the middle ear, yes, that question was there. How is the middle ear equalizes pressure on the either side of the tympanic membrane. So it allows air saturation, yes, into the middle. Yes. No, how does the Eustachian tube equalizes pressure on the either side of the tympanic membrane? It allows air saturation into the middle ear so that it is equalized, you see. So basically it balances it by allowing the air to saturate in and out. That's why when you feel that something sharp pain in the ear, just yawn. It's because of the difference in what? In air pressure. So I don't want to explain that today. I'm about exams. All right, let's go to the questions and we kill it. Then, before I go to the last question, they can also ask you that how is the hardening of the tissue, this tissue cause deafness. So when they are hardened, it means that they cannot move. They cannot move. So if they fail to move, or they will move slowly, you see, they will move slowly. So it means that now that person will either lose hearing completely or will have short of hearing. Yes. All right. So identify part B. Identify part B. So we see that part B, part B, it is part B. Part B, we say that is the auditory canal. Part D is the ossicles. Then state one function of A. It collects sound wave and directs it. Don't just say collect sound waves. Collects sound waves and directs it into the auditory canal. Yes. Explain the middle ear infection could affect hearing. So that's what we say, that the accumulation of the fluid. Yes. Number one, it will prevent the air from being saturated. That's number one. Number two, it creates a pressure to the tympanic membrane, causing it to burst, causing to what? To burst, and then leading to deafness. Yes. Then they are saying that describe the role of the eustachian tube. The eustachian tube, this one, it equalizes pressure on the either side of the tympanic membrane. But how does it equalizes it? By allowing air to go in and out. Yes. So it brings about the air balance. They are saying that they name the small device inserted into the middle ear. We see what we have discussed before. You can answer all the questions which are related to that. We call them what? Grommets. I saw someone saying it already. Who was that person? I saw someone saying grommets a long time, but I didn't understand why he's saying grommets. Yeah, all right. We call them what? Grommets. Vanal. Is it? It's not auditory vanal. It's auditory canal. Yes, maybe it's just your typing error. Thank you. It's all called auditory canal. All right. They're saying that. Name the small devices. We say that small devices, we call them, we say that those small devices, we call them what? We call them, okay, someone is saying that you want to watch later. Okay, let me do this. Oh, okay. So those small devices, how do we call those small devices? We call them grommets. They're saying that write down the letter of the part of the small device named in the question above where it is inserted. It is inserted inside here. Remember, we said that it is inserted. You see where it's being inserted? It's inserted on the tympanic membrane. So now when we come back here, we see that is letter C. The only thing which we need to talk about now about the ear is balance. Let's go. Balance. Let me see how you balance yourself. So when it comes to balance, there are two questions which you need to understand here. The question can come in terms of, it can come in terms of what? In terms of speed and direction, or it can come in terms of speed and direction, or it can come in terms of position of the head. So let's just go back to Saidi's mode of balance, and then we just explain quick. This is just a process which you guys, I don't need even to repeat. You just need to get it, read it, cram it. Cram it. Guys, if you can't cram, help me and do this. Cram it, pass, forget. Yes. Yes, just cram, pass, forget. So we have speed and direction. Speed and direction, that's the stimulus or position of the head. When you change your head like this, you change your head, that is speed and direction. But what is being checked is the crystal. Where is it found? In the ampulla of the semicircular canal. While position of the head, yes, position of the head will stimulate the maculae. Where is it found? In the circulars and the utriculars. The stimuli here is being converted into a nerve impulse. Guys, all these points which are here, make sure that you know them. Is transmitted along the auditory nerve to cerebellum for interpretation so that balance is being restored. So here, there is nothing I'm going to explain too much. I have a lot of questions which I need to just to show you. I think I'm almost there, but I need to show you those questions. Here, balance, I've explained balance several times. If you are the first time to visit here, a lot of questions which are there. By the way, I know you are writing tomorrow. We are going to the second paper now. By the way, thank you so much for subscribing. Yeah, thank you so much, guys, for subscribing. Yeah, yeah, thank you so much. Thank you so much for subscribing. All right. They're saying that the process of maintaining the internal environment of the body, internal constant environment of the body. How do you call that process? That process is called process of maintaining a constant internal environment. Who knows that? Starts with H. It's called homeostasis. Organelles found in the large quantity of the neck of the sperm, we know that. We say that mitochondria. The disease characterized by the degeneration of the brain tissue, Alzheimer's disease. The layer of the eye that is richly supplied with the blood vessel, we say that choroid. Then they're saying that the type of development in birds in which young ones are born fully. Remember, guys, we have precocial and atricial. Precocial, we say that they are born prepared, and even the egg yolk has a lot of content. Yeah, so that egg yolk, it helps them to develop fully. Yes. These ones, their egg yolk is big. Their egg yolk is big, meaning that they have a lot of content. Therefore, they're able to develop fully. While these ones, the egg yolk is what? Is small. Therefore, they are not developed fully. So precocial, born prepared. They are cautious when they are born. They know that where we are going, it is dangerous. So they are born prepared. Yes. So then they are saying that the group of the group of cells, yes, uh group of cells that's secreted by the insulin in and glucagon. How do you call this? We call them isolates of Langhans. Isolates of Langhans. Let me just write the spelling. Can you write the spelling together? Isolate, isolate, islet. You can read it as islet. That is late, islet. You see? Then of, I think of, everyone knows the of. Yes. Langa, langa, langa. Langa. You see? Am I writing it properly? Let me just write it properly. I want you to go together. Langa, langa. I said of langa, then hands. Hey, call it hands. Not hands. Hands. The problem you pronounce bank as bank. Okay, now I should call it hand or hand. Hands. Okay, it's a hand. I said so long hands. So isolate, eyes, isolate, islati, islati. You see, islati. Yes, so you isolate it, ne? Yes, it's isolates of long hands. Yeah, someone is writing, it's not E, it is A. Yes, correct. Yeah, someone is writing, this one is A, ne? Yes, isolate of longer hands. So I don't know how you're gonna pronounce it, but that's it. All right. Isolate of long hands. Structure in the sperm that contains enzyme to dissolve the membrane of the ovum. We call it acrosome. Then they're saying that the blood vessels carbon dioxide from the fetus to the placenta. That is from the fetus away. Away. So when you say away, atari. Away, atari. So it means that this is umbilical artery. So we get all the marks. So now it means that now our life is getting much more better. Why? Because at least we have done some explanation and reminding you, we revise together. Then now we can do questions very fast. Extra-embryonic membrane found in the amniotic egg. So both of them. That is the chorion and the allantois. So both A and B. Structure in the ear that absorbs excess pressure from the cochlea. So absorbs excess pressure from the cochlea. Here is none, because absorbs excess pressure from the cochlea. That is the inner ear. That is round window. It's not there. Structure that transports semens out of the body. Semens out of the body. Yes, semens out of the body. So the answer is gonna be B only. Yeah, so we are done with that. We go to the next question. You see now? We have tried to cover most of these questions. You see, we go to this question. They're saying that diagram below shows the nervous system. This one is basically is trying to show us this, which we talked about. Do we talk about it? Yeah, but we talked about it. It's just that, okay, yes, it's here. Yes, it's here. That's the diagram. You have the central nervous system. The central nervous system is the nervous system is divided into the central nervous system and the peripheral nervous system. The central nervous system is divided into the brain and the spinal cord. Those are the centers. And then the peripheral nervous system is divided into autonomic nervous system and the somatic nervous system. Yes, the autonomic nervous system is divided into the sympathetic nervous system and the parasympathetic nervous system. The somatic nervous system is divided into spinal nerves and cranial nerves. So that is it. So now let's find out. What are they saying? Now you have the central nervous system is divided into central nervous system and the peripheral nervous system, the brain and the spinal cord. Yes, here we have the cranial nerves and then spinal nerves. You see, so both the two, how do they call them? We call them autonomic nervous system. So autonomic nervous system is divided into sympathetic and the parasympathetic nervous system. So basically, you just know what is it. Yeah, Ish, I don't know how to explain it, but someone is saying what? Let me ask you one person from the Kensani. Are we together? Kensani and mute. You, you said that you have some questions. Which questions were those? You had a lot of questions. But am I addressing them now? Am I addressing them slowly? You send the questions on plant hormones.
Yes.
Yeah, but okay, apart we're gonna reach there. So what about other areas? Am I addressing your concerns?
Okay, what else? It's the graphs
The graphs, I'm
and
gonna talk
what
about them.
else?
I'm gonna talk about the
Okay,
graphs because I need to talk about the investigative question.
all right.
All right.
And
Okay.
then,
And
yeah,
what?
I forgot, sir.
Okay, no problem. So, all right, guys. Oh, percentage increase. Yeah, I will talk about it when I go to the graphs. Yes, so when I'm switching to the guys, when I'm switching to the tropism, homeostasis, and what endocrine. Before I go to those ones, I'm gonna first talk about the investigative questions. Then after that, now I'm gonna shoot there. The reason why I'm doing that is so that I cover up those people who are writing their exam also. They're not final exams, but they're writing their May, June. All right. Uh-huh. All right, let's go, guys. We continue. What is this now? Okay, they're saying that identify the component of the nervous system represented by A. So we have seen it. It is the peripheral nervous system. Then in D, we say that it is the autonomic nervous system. Name the type of nerves represented by C. If it is not cranial, then it's spinal. Remember, some nerves they come from the cranium. Some nerves they come from the spinal cord. You see, yeah. If they're not coming from the cranium, yes, you see, we call them cranial nerves. You see, if they're not cranial, then they're what? They are spinal nerves. So that's what they wanted there. Then they are saying that name the type of cells, okay? Name letter and the name of the component that slows down the heartbeat. Remember that when you see that you are under emergence, the sympathetic nervous system is going to increase the heartbeat. Then the parasympathetic E is going to decrease the heartbeat. Yes, so the answer is E and the parasympathetic nervous system. Name the cells make up the nerve tissue. We call them neurons. Yes, name two ways in which the brain is protected. You see, guys, we have been talking about this. The brain is protected by the cranium, by the cerebrospinal fluid, and the meninges. Yeah, so now we can answer that question. You see, we answered it very fast. Why? Because we have discussed it before. Then we go to the next question. This is the ear. You have the, remember the ear is divided into outer ear, middle ear, and the inner ear. So this is the inner ear, this is the middle ear, and then the ear itself, the ear, which you refused me to tell me what is the plural for this so-called pinna. Okay, yes, is the outer ear. You see? So now identify. Let's first answer everything. This is it. Oscos. There's oval window. This is a station tube. This is a round window. And then this is, let me just say it's a semicircular canals. All right, identify F. So we have said that semicircular canal. Give the corrective name for B. It is oscos. Name the letter and the part of the structure that equalizes pressure on the either side of the tympanic membrane. Yes, basically outer ear and the middle ear. That is D, which is the eustachian tube. Create pressure wave in the inner ear. That is the, you see, that is the oval window. That's what we discussed. Create, name the receptor that are stimulated by change in the position of the head. Remember, we said that, you see now, direction of the head. Position of the head is maculae, and then speed and direction is cristae. So if you go back to the Saidi's model of balance, yes, this is what we said. We say that position of the head is maculae, while speed and direction is cristae. Guys, at least you know these receptors, that cristae is speed and direction, maculae is position of the what? Of the head. Right, we continue to the next question. So that question is done. You can't tell me that you're gonna fill the paper for tomorrow. I will not accept it, and you will not do that because it is not going to happen. The only thing I want to hear is passed. Nothing else. Yeah. People who study from Thundereduc, they pass. There is no need for you to why should I fail? Why should you fail? It's like you are telling me that you are not full when your mother is cooking the food. Is your mother who is cooking the is the mother who is cooking the food is the one who is serving you food, and then you tell me that you don't become full. Never. You must pass. All right. All right, what is A? A is the fallopian tube. B is the uterus. C is the endometrium. Hey, people are killing me. Please upload the tourism. Tourism was uploaded, guys. Just go to Thundereduc and then you check there. Tourism, your grade, then you end with the word Thundereduc. Yes, you will see it there coming. Yeah. All right. They're saying that C, that is, I don't know, C. I don't know what is C, guys. You'll help me. I don't know what is it. You'll tell me. But the second name for it is called the birth canal. Don't forget to stay virgin. All right. They're saying that identify B, we say that is the endometrium. Name the process that takes place at A, that is fertilization. Remember that fertilization, now we have started the structure of the female. I know that boys, you know this more than the girls. All right, so you have to know that. So, let me do a small recall about the female reproductive structure so that that one is too big. Yo. Female reproductive structure. Yeah, girls, you ladies, you are too complicated. You are too complex in such a way that actually we don't know you and you don't know yourself. All right. The female reproductive structure, we say this is the vulva, that's the outer, the opening. Yes. For example, yeah, that's the opening. Then you have the vagina, sometimes you call it the birth canal. You have the cervix. It's very important during the pushing of the baby. You remember if you have ever done it before. And then you have the endometrium, that is for implantation. Yes, you have the uterus, which we call sometimes the uterine cavity, the space of the uterus where the baby is developing from. Then you have the fallopian tube, that's where fertilization takes place. And then you have the ovary, that's where the ovum is being produced, and also estrogen and progesterone being produced from. So now the ovary, the structure of the female is being, we have talked about it. Unless when you cut this, will this person be able to fertilize, be able to give birth? Yes, because this one is still working, the second one is still working. Uh-huh. Still working properly. Working properly. Uh-huh. So we go to the next question. Yeah. So I trying to mean that me, I was staying here. And then I passed here. Yeah. I respect all ladies in this world. All right. So we are saying that yes, this person will be able to produce. What happens? What happens, guys? What happens? It means that the fertility of this individual is going to reduce. Why? Because if this month this one produces, the next month this one produces. So it means that this person is going to skip a month without becoming what? Pregnant. However much morning, supper, evening, whatever, but still you won't do. Why? Because the ovum is not being what? Produced. So, but the fertility is going to decrease, but still the person has the chance to what? To be impregnated. All right, we continue. Should I talk about this? Okay, let me talk about it. So now you have this. So this is the ovary. The ovary has the major function of the ovary is to produce the ovum. But during the process of production of ovum, the development of the ovum, some hormones, some structures are being developed, and these structures which develop, they produce some chemicals. Now look, this ovary, it moves like this. Goes like that, but this one moves like this. So you see, sometimes we change it, and then you see someone is going off. You see, yes, meaning that now it depends on the size. Someone is asking me, when is this live ending? It's gonna end when I'm seeing that, yeah, you guys were ready for tomorrow. But yeah, I have to, it has to end maybe in hours time, because I have to go home. Yeah, I'm still at the studio. Yes, I have to go home, to meet my people at home. But sometimes I have other people online like you guys. So I have to see that you guys, you are good. Tomorrow you are ready, and then I continue. I also go and sleep. At least I'll sleep with the peace that I know that I've done my kids. Anyway, let's not waste the time. So they're saying that okay, now this is this. You understand? This is this. You see? So sometimes we change them. So now when the ovum is being developed, it comes from what called the Graafian follicle. So this is the Graafian follicle. And then this one becomes the mature Graafian follicle. You see? So this is the mature Graafian follicle. And inside there is ovum, which is D. Let me clear it up. Which is D. Yes. So this is D. This one, the ovum. So it is this ovum. And then now ovulation takes place, which is here. The ovum is being produced, which is there. You see? Now this one changes into a mucus-like, which we call the corpus luteum. The corpus luteum is there. When the corpus luteum keeps on developing, becoming more bigger, then it means that the person is pregnant. But now this person is not pregnant because corpus luteum is degenerating. You understand? Yes. So here, even here, it shows that the corpus luteum is degenerating. When the corpus luteum degenerates, then the person is not pregnant. Meaning that remember the function of now Graafian follicle is to produce the hormone called estrogen, which prepares the uterus for implantation by making the endometrium, by making the uterus thick, vesicular, and glandular. Guys, don't forget about that. Yes, thick, vesicular, and glandular. While corpus luteum, it's going to produce a hormone called progesterone, which maintains pregnancy if you are pregnant. Yes, it maintains its function is to make the endometrium more thicker. I want to see that word more thicker, more vesicular, and more glandular. So the function of progesterone also, if there is high level of progesterone, yes, is going to inhibit the production of FSH. Why? Because FSH FSH is the one which now is going to trigger again the cycle to continue the development of the what? The development here of the Graafian follicle. You see, FSH is gonna trigger the development of the what? The Graafian follicle, because it stimulates the development of Graafian follicle. That's why it's called FSH, a hormone which stimulates the development of the Graafian follicle, the development of the follicle, which we call the Graafian follicle. So now, if it is blocked, if the level of progesterone is too high, FSH is gonna be inhibited from being produced, meaning that now the person is gonna become pregnant completely. So what does it mean? It means that now if the person is pregnant, you cannot be pregnant 6 months and then you become pregnant 2 months. Why? Because the level of progesterone is high, so it prevents the production of FSH. All right. So which hormone is responsible for triggering this? We call it for triggering ovulation, we call it LH. Luteinizing hormone. Also, luteinizing hormone helps to change this into a mucus-like structure, which we call the corpus luteum. Hey, ladies, you are complex. Yeah. Ask the people who are married. They can be married for 20 years, but they don't know their wives. I'm talking about the husbands who will never understand who is a lady. Yeah, that is a lady. I mean, I respect you. Hey guys, clap for all ladies in this chat. All right, thank you so much. If you are a lady there, I know that you are strong. You are the mother of the country. Yes. All right. All right. We go to the next question now. Let's go to and answer these questions. Name the process that takes place at A. We said it is fertilization that lead to the zygote formation. Eh? Name the process that takes place at A that leads to the zygote. Oh, yeah. Remember, fertilization is when the haploid nucleus of the ovum fuses with the haploid nucleus of the ovum to form a diploid zygote. Yes. Thank you so much, guys, who clapped for the ladies in this chat. All right. Landis, Inti, I see you guys. Yeah. All right. They're saying that describe the process named above. They're asking you see now, they're asking you the process, the development of the zygote until implantation. Name the process that takes place that leads to the zygote formation. Oh, they're asking you, name the process. So it means that now the process is fertilization. Then they're saying, describe the process mentioned above. So it means that now I'm supposed to describe the process of fertilization. That's when the haploid nucleus, the sperm approaches the nucleus, whereby the acrosome releases the enzyme which digests the membrane of the ovum, so that the haploid nucleus of the sperm fuses with the haploid nucleus of the ovum, and then a diploid zygote is formed. So basically, you need to talk about the acrosome releasing the enzymes. So those are 2 marks. And then the haploid nucleus of the sperm fuses with the haploid nucleus of the ovum. You see? And then you mentioning the, yes, to form a diploid what? A diploid zygote. So you see that you have the marks there. Then another question they're saying, describe the development of the zygote until implantation. Yeah. Guys, okay. I'm seeing a message here. What happens? Someone's asking, what happens if they point on the pons? Some papers are like that. Oh, if they point, they did that last year and it was not marked. Yes, it was not marked. So the pons, we don't ask you about the pons. We ask you the medulla oblongata. Oh, sorry, I didn't see your question. So let's talk about the development of the zygote until implantation. Yes, guys, we are writing tomorrow. No, you're not writing tomorrow. You are smashing the paper tomorrow. Yes. That's how you write it. You are smashing the paper tomorrow. I'm not ready. You'll be ready. Let's go together. By that time, you'll be ready. So you have the sperm and the ovum. They fuse together, which we call the fertilization. Then they form the zygote. The zygote undergoes mitosis. This is a mark to form a ball of cells. You were saying a ball of cell is a mark. Then how do you call that ball of cell? We call it morula, is another mark. Then it undergoes mitosis repeatedly to form a hollow ball of cells. Is another mark. How do we call that hollow ball? It has a space inside. It's called what? Blastula. Yes. Then it forms the outer layer called the chorionic villi. The outer layer. The outer layer. Sometimes you ask you that question, that how do you call that outer layer? How do you call that outer layer? That outer layer is called the chorion. So we call it, the outer layer called the chorion. Yes, chorion. Chorion, which forms the finger-like projection. That's the time when you're starting to vomit. You are vomiting. You are vomiting what you ate. Yes. That's when you now we start seeing you that, oh, something happened when we are not there. So the finger-like projection, we call it the chorionic villi. The chorionic villi, what is it for? Is for implantation. So after fertilization, a zygote is formed, which undergoes mitosis, a mark, which forms the ball of cells called the morula, which undergoes mitosis repeatedly, because mitosis, we have already talked about it, so we don't give it a mark. So hollow ball of cell is a mark, which is we call the blastula. It forms the outer layer called the chorion, which forms finger-like projection. What is it for? For implantation. Done. What do you want? Nothing else. Nothing else. That's what they want. Your 4 marks, your 8 marks, your 6 marks, you have got it. Explain 2 ways in which part D is structure is suited for its for gestation. Structure D. How is structure? How is the uterus able to? How is it? First of all, it contains the endometrium, which allows implantation. You see, yes, it allows implantation. Then number 2, it is well supplied with blood vessels. Yes, it is well supplied with blood vessels. So since it is supplied with the blood vessels, then automatically it is able to supply the blood so that the thing is able to be sustained. Yes. So describe how the secretion of the prostate gland provide the protection of the sperm from the condition of C. Remember that C is acidic. The vagina is acidic, Baba. It is acidic, and it is required to be acidic, because if you don't it's not acidic, then the bacteria is going to accumulate. But how is the prostate gland able to provide the protection to the sperms, to the condition, the acidic nature of the vagina? So prostate gland provide alkaline fluid which neutralizes the acidity of the vagina. That's it. And guess what? You saying the vagina is acidic is a mark, because they say the conditions of the vagina. You see, conditions of the vagina. So they are hiding it so that you mention it. You know that the vagina is acidic. Ladies, can you follow yourself? You can't. So, no disappointments tomorrow. I'll come back here when I'm writing the memorandum for you. I will come back and I'll remind you that, you remember I told you this. I didn't say anything, guys. Don't say that I said anything. What is spermatogenesis? We saw the formation of the sperms. Done. Name the type of fertilization described above. So you need to look at. So this is the viviparous, oviparous, precocial, artificial, external fertilization, internal fertilization. That's it. This is what it is all about. Frogs survive in water and then on land. Most frogs, that's why they are called amphibians. Amphi, which means to land and water. Okay, sharp. Most frogs, however, need water for reproduction. During the breeding season, males and female frog release millions of sperms. Yes, to increases the chances of fertilization. They can ask why as frogs produce a lot of sperms, to increase the chances of what? Fertilization. Name the type of fertilization which is being described there. It is external fertilization, because the When the sperms they will find this the ovum. Omunye pesco omunye. You see here, omunye pesco omunye. Now you see what is happening here. Omunye pesco. You see? Yes, external fertilization. If you forget it, you sing that song. Omunye pesco omunye. All right. By the way, are those guys? All right, we continue. Explain why millions of gametes are released. We talked about it. To increase the chances of fertilization, increases the chances for the sperms to meet the ovum so that successful fertilization can take place. Because these 3 marks, so I have to explain it. To increases the chances of the sperms to meet the ovum so that the successive fertilization, yes, takes place. That's why reproduction in frogs is an example of oviparous, because sperms oviparous, because the development of the embryo is outside the female's body. Because the development of the embryo is outside the female's body. Yes, man. We go to. Should I start the skin? I said I'm not doing the skin now. I'm not doing the skin now. What is this? Factory, hearing, exposure, damage of exposure. Okay, let me just talk about this now. Yeah, this one is fine. I'll talk about that when I come. The skin, I'll talk about it separately. Those 3 subtopics. Yes, once I'm done with this, then I'll go back and then talk about those. Which page is this? Which page is this? Okay, I'll look for it. It's page 12. Okay. Page 12. Page 12. Page 12. Okay, they're saying that, guys, here is an experimental question of which you guys, you're supposed to explain. Explain investigative question. Investigative question, guys, is gonna come. That one is a definite case. So don't say anything. So they're saying that workers in the sector of factory are constantly, it's not the same question, it's just, this is just to guide. Meaning that I'm only going to answer questions which are related to what I want. Yes. Okay, loud noise in the period, okay, destroy the hair cells or along the organ of Corti and damages the auditory nerves, resulting in the hearing loss. Okay. The survey was conducted in the developing countries from 2014 to 2018 to establish the number of factory workers who suffered from the hearing loss. Okay, establish. They're saying that now, name the structure of the organ of Corti that is, name the structures in the ear where the organ of Corti is located. Remember, organ of Corti is the, organ of Corti is the what? Organ of Corti is the sensory, is the receptor for the hearing. So organ of Corti, what is it? It is doing. It detects. It changes. It detects and it's stimulated and changes the impulse. It changes the stimulus into a nerve impulse. So if it is damaged, then automatically the stimulus will not be converted into a nerve impulse. Cool. So we continue now. They're saying that name the structure, meaning that it is found in the cochlea, the ear. Calculate the percentage increase in the number of factors. Before I go there, they can ask you which one is the independent variable, which one is a dependent variable. So in most cases, the first one is the independent variable, the second one is the dependent variable. If there are many columns here, yeah, these ones, all of them, they become independent variable. So if you are plotting, where is it going? You could say x, y, id, x, y, which means that this one is the x-axis, and then this one is the y-axis. Then you plot. All right, so I'll come back there. So let me calculate. Calculate when they say that percentage increase. When they say percentage increase, look at where they told you from what point to what point. In most cases, it's not always open. So they said from 2014, 2018. Sometimes they can say 2015 to 2017. So percentage increase is final minus initial over final. You understand? Yes. And then times 100. So our final is 130,000, 130,000 minus the initial, which is 100 and 100,000, 100,000. Yes, divide by the initial. Did I say final? Sorry, guys. It's not final. It's initial. Ah. All right. I was going to give you a poison. So it is final minus initial over initial. Yes, times 100%. So it is basically it is this, which is 130,000 minus the initial, which is 100,000 divided by the initial, which is 100,000. So someone is giving me Rollens and the Vele, it is 85,000. So she's saying that is 85,000. When you subtract 85,000, if you subtract 85,000, but divide by the 10, is it 10,000 or 100,000? Divide by 100,000 in times 100, so that the percentage you get is, guys, tell me the percentage. I don't have a calculator here. I don't have a calculator. I don't have a calculator. I use the different studio. Here I don't have a calculator. All right. So the percentage you get, guys, let me tell you something. Okay, someone is giving the answer. Mm, eh? 2018. Oh, good. Yes. Anyway, I don't know. Maybe because I had already. Yes. Thank you, Lawrence. But that's it. That is the idea. He's saying that they said it 2014. The question is saying 2014, not 2015. Saying 2014. So it means that our final is gonna be that divided by the minus initial. So this final minus the initial, which is 85,000, divided by 85,000 times 100. So cool. And then now the answer you get, guys, the percentage increase or percentage decrease. Yes, someone is saying is 52.9. All right, I don't know, but it's not about to bring it to be correct. It's about the what you're supposed to do. Write the formula there. Final minus initial over initial. If you forget, guys, even if they say percentage decrease, if you forget, né? Listen carefully, guys. If you see that you forgot everything, just say that the lower one is supposed to be initial. Then you're gonna look for what is big minus what is small. Divide by the initial. Then you will see the answer is gonna be there. Whether percentage increase or percentage decrease, it will show you. The big minus small divided by the initial times 100. You'll see that the big is the final, the small is the initial, divided by. Yes. So if the initial is big, is the one which is big, and the final is small, then it means that it's going to be initial minus final divided by initial, which is percentage decrease. So always, guys, say big minus small divided by initial. You will, but that's not the formula. The formula is final minus initial divided by initial. But if you forget, at least you will get 2 marks down there. And then maybe you might lose a mark for what? For same around 52.94. Okay, yeah, it's fine. 52.9. Maybe if we round off, yeah. So please, guys, make sure that at least you know that. Then, when it comes to the data, the bar graph, these are the things which you need to understand. That the bar graph, yes, it must have spaces. It must have spaces. Must have spaces. Must have space. This bar must be equal to that bar. That bar must be equal to this bar. And listen carefully. Ne? And the space here must be equal to the space there. Space there must be equal. You have to be with the caption with the two in the variables. The variable here must have units. You understand? And the variable here must have what? Units. Please don't forget those things. Please, please, please. Yes. Then when it is a grouped bar graph, meaning that now you have, let me clear it up here now. You have another here. Yes, and then you have figures here, and they ask you to draw a bar graph. You draw a bar graph, you plot this, it is on x-axis, and then this one, you plot this and this, you draw a bar. Then you plot this again and this, you draw another bar. It's a bar graph, leave a space now. You go now to this, you draw another bar, you drew this, and now this, you draw another bar. That's it. Do you understand? So you continue like that. If it is a histogram, make sure that there are no spaces, or they must be compacted. If it is a line graph, there are some line graph we can't have in life science. We can have that, we can have that, we can have that. But if you see that your bar graph, your bar graph or your graph is like this, it means that you swapped the what? The axis. Please make sure that now what is here, put it here. What is here, put it there. Then it's gonna stand straight. You understand? Then number two, we don't have a line graph which goes like this, or a line graph which goes like that. It means that you have swapped the axis. Yeah, there are some abnormal shapes which you see that we can't. Then number three, when you're joining the line graph, make sure that you don't use a ruler. Join with the free hands. Lastly, on the graph, you need to know the pie chart. If they're giving you to draw a pie chart of this information, it means that you're going to have to add all of this, and then you get the total. Yes, then after that, you say for 2014, this divided by the total times 360, because the circle, make sure guys, you go with the protractor, you go with the ruler, or you go with the, make sure that you go, the way you are doing maths is the same way you must go in life science, because you might need it. Make sure you go with the calculator, go with everything which you need to pass, you guys. There should be no any minute you should waste. Don't sleep in the paper. Don't say that no, me, I'm still having time. Who told you that time? It means that you are making the examiners fools, that the one who gave you the 2.5 hours for you want to write the paper in 1 hour. At least go through the work. Yes, go through the work. You see that there are some questions you messed up. Yes. Lastly, if you see that the question you are you don't know it, make sure that you put whatever you have in the head, as long as they didn't say list 2 or list 3, whereby they mark the first 3. If it is about the S, just writing, explain or describe, put everything there. Please don't leave an objective unanswered. Even if you don't know, at least bet. You can bet and win. Yes. Yeah. Panda pusher play. Nah. You push it, you play, you win. Yeah. You never know. Those 2 marks can save your life, and you qualify for nursing. Hey, they might be wanting for 50, and anyway, now you get 49. Oh, nothing on. All right. All right, let's go to question 3. What are they saying here? Yeah, this one is ish. Okay, another question, which is page 13, page 14, page 14, page 14. Okay. I will talk about it. Then lastly, the eye. I think we have done, which part we have not done? I think those are the 2 parts. Describe the secretion of adrenaline. Yes, page 14 and page 15. Okay. Describe the secretion of adrenaline can cause the energy production in emergent situation. This one, yes, it can be in that side or it can be in basically they are looking for what does adrenaline do during emergency. This is what they're asking you. Apart from the homeostatic control, where is it? Yes, it is just before. Yes, it is here. So just they're asking you this. Remember that parasympathetic and sympathetic, basically they are looking at this is what adrenaline is doing. Increase in the heartbeat, constriction of the blood vessels in the skin, increase in the blood pressure, relaxation of the muscles of the blood. That's why you urinate yourself because someone has scared you. The dilation of the pupil. Some people they say that when they are looking at someone, they laugh, they dilate. Yes, because you are panicking. Yes, so because adrenaline is being released in the blood. So this sympathetic nervous system works together with adrenaline. So that question is asking you to write this: increase in the heartbeat, constriction of the blood vessels, decrease in the blood pressure, so that now more food is being pumped to the what? To the glands. No, to the muscles. Yes, remember the blood once is pumped there, more oxygen, nutrients, everything you see, and then you are able to do what? To act accordingly. Either you fight or you take off. Right. What is A? A is vitreous humor. What is B? It is fovea. Yellow spot. What is C? Blind spot. What is D? Is the lens. What is E? Is let me call it the cornea, but it looks to be conjunctiva. Then what is F? F is the iris. Remember, pupillary mechanism, you talk about this. Accommodation, you talk about that. Yes, so please don't forget about that because we have discussed about this. Now we're just doing a revision. Identify F, name two structure, name two functions of A. We say the function of A, we say that it brings about the shape of the eyeball, then also provide nutrients. Describe the structural difference between B and C. B, where is B? Where is B? Where is B? We say that this one is yellow spot, while this one is blind spot. When they say structural difference, then it means that it has more rods and cones, while this one it has no rods and cones. Yes. Photoreceptor, no photoreceptors. Then they are saying that name the visual defect that occurs when the curvature is uneven of E, meaning that is the cornea. We call it astigmatism. Then they say that explain how the sight of the person will be affected if the cataracts develop, meaning that the person will not be able to explain. The lens will crystallize, meaning that light will not be able to penetrate into the eye, and then it will lead to formation of braille images, and then the person will be seeing, won't be able to see properly. Yes. So they're saying that describe the process of accommodation that takes place when the person is when an object is less than 6 meters away. So guys, here less than 6 meters away, then it means that it's a nearby object. Don't forget that I said that if it's a nearby object, the object is big enough. So the lens is big. So what happens if the lens is big? If the lens is big, what's going to happen? So it means that the suspensor ligaments, they're going to slacken, and then the ciliary muscles are going to contract. So now you start. Ciliary muscles contract, suspensor ligaments slacken. Ne? The tension on the lens decreases. The lens becomes more convex. You see? Yeah. The refracting power increases, or the light rays are bent more to the retina, and then a clear image is formed. Simple. We talked about this, so please don't go without knowing at least the process. Where is this person? Let me check and see if he's here. I was looking for you, Susan. I was looking for Susan. You are lucky that you are here. All right. Let's go, guys. Let's go. Terminologies. The zobs again. You see the zobs. Okay. Zobs. Okay, I'm gonna ask you to label for me the zobs. Okay. Okay, they're saying release the ovum from the ovary. We said it. What is that? The release of the ovum, that is ovulation, microscopic gap between two connective neurons. We call the synapse. The period of development of the fetus in the uterus, gestation, the growth of movement of the plant in response to the stimulus, growth response movement in response to the stimulus. Plants, we call it tropism. Tropism. Yes, tropism. The type of development in birds where young ones are born independently from feeding themselves after hatching. How do you call that? They are able to, the type of development where birds are able to independently, so they are born prepared, is precocial. Extraembryonic membrane that is responsible for excretion of waste in the amniotic egg. It is allantois. They are saying that the tubes in the testis where spermatogenesis occur, seminiferous tubes. They're saying the plant hormone that brings about seed dormancy. Seed dormancy, we said, is abscisic acid. Yes. They're saying that the endocrine glands, meaning that they have a tube. If you look at them, they must be like this. Yes. They're like a gourd, you know? Like a gourd, you know? Yeah. You know. Yes, all right. So it is basically both A and B. Remember, pancreas, it can produce enzymes and hormones. So it is both endocrine and exocrine. So the answer is A and B. Components of the peripheral nervous system, we said cranial nerves and the spinal cord. No, spinal cord is not involved. It's spinal nerves and the cranial nerves. So the answer, you see, remember we did it right. So it's cranial nerves. They're saying the disorder of the nervous system characterized by the degeneration of the brain. That is Alzheimer's disease. What is goiter? Goiter is the enlargement of the thyroid gland due to lack of the thyroxine in the body. If it is overworking, then it becomes hyperthyroidism. If it is underworking, then it becomes hypothyroidism. Hey guys, my system is dying of the battery. I quit. They're saying that let's label together. We start where? If this is the gland, we have the first gland, we have the second gland, we have the third gland. All right, this is seminal vesicle, this is prostate gland, this is corpus gland, this is vas deferens, this is epididymis, this is testis, this is scrotum. Scrotum. Yes. And then this is the penis. And then this is what? The urethra. Sharp. I think, guys, now if the way you are labeling it, you must be as fast as I do, because I provided this for you guys, most especially those people who are studying with us. Yes. Yeah. Thank you so much, guys, who have been studying with us, who have been studying with us private classes. Yes. Thank you so much, guys. And we pray that you guys you pass. You pass. We love you so much. We love you so much. Yes. Shout goes to Erio. Erio, we love you so much. Gensani, we love you so much. Rollins, we love you so much. Hey, love, we love you so much. Nomfundo, we love you so much. Tati, we love you so much. Susan, we love you so much. Zintle! Zintle, the people even say that you are celeb now. We love you so much, guys. Ne? Yeah. All right. And those people who are subscribers we also love you so much. And those people who are not subscribers, but they also come and watch some videos from Thundereduc, we also love you so much. So, guys, we continue. Then we say that yes. Let's answer these questions. Identify part A. We identified all of them. Label the letter and the name of the part that stores sperms temporarily. Sperms are being stored by epididymis. 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 Yeah, that is storage of sperms. Transport both semens and urine. Yes, that is the urethra. Then we go to the produces produces testosterone, that is testes. But which cells of the testes produce testosterone? We say that cells of Leydig. Cells of Leydig. Students, yeah, you are tough, Baba. I was saying that. That's why it's called cells of Leydig. Okay. Anyway, I'm not in, guys. I'm not in. Not in. Hey, they're saying that give the letter of the two parts that contributes to the formation of the semen. Remember, semen is sperms and then these glands. Yes. So in this case, it's gonna be. Let me clear it up so that I'm able to see properly. It's gonna be this, this, and this. Why? Because they say glands. Name two parts that contributes. They said just parts. They didn't talk about this, so they didn't mention it. So it's fine. We only go with what we know or what we have been given. Okay. Okay. We go to the next question. The next question, give the letter of the two parts. Okay, we are done with that. Sperm, ovum. We talked about this, ne? Okay, what is A? Flagellum or tail, middle piece, nucleus, and then acrosome. Yes. And they're saying what is this? Okay, do they want the everything there? Okay, I will say it's jelly-like layer, and then C is the cell membrane, and then B is the cytoplasm, and what is A? It is the nucleus. If they ask you to label it, we are done labeling it. Jelly-like layer, cell membrane. Remember, it's a cell. Ovum is a cell, so it has a cell membrane. Guess what? Even a sperm has a cell. Sorry, cell membrane, because it's a cell. Uh, uh. All right, we got that. Name the organelle found in G. G is mitochondria. Give the letter of the two parts that fuse during fertilization. That fuse during name two parts that fuse during. Obviously, it is this. It is F and A. They fuse. Remember, I said that the haplonucleus of the ovum, the haplonucleus of the sperm fuses with the haplonucleus of the ovum to form a diploid zygote. You remember the definition of the fertilization. The haplonucleus of the sperm fuses with the haplonucleus of the ovum to form the diploid zygote. So it means this and this are the letters they are looking for. Name the mitotic process whereby ovum is being produced. Name the mitotic process whereby the ovum are produced. How do you call that mitotic process? So we call it what? Genesis. Genesis. Guys, you see now? Yes, we have come to that. Yes. Okay. They're saying that, hey guys, I think by 8 o'clock. Yes, 8 o'clock. Huh? Let me push it until 8:30. 8:30. Yeah, I think I will mosh. But let me push. Let me push until 8:30 at least. All right. They're saying that what is A? A, it is the axon, because this is the cell body. This is the transmission of the impulse. Remember, the impulse moves from the dendrite, cell body, axon, to the terminal branches of the axon. You see, dendrite, cell body, axon, to the terminal branches of the axon. All right. So now I know, isn't it? So this is moron neuron, because the cell body is at the terminal. Also, this is moron neuron, but this is myelinated, but this one has no myelin sheath. Remember, I told you the sheath, the meaning of sheath. Sheath is a protection. I gave an example of a condom. Sorry. Yeah, it's a sheath, by the way. It's a sheath. What is it for? Protection. And also the function of the sheath is to protect and also to allow the impulse to move very fast. Yeah, you remember the impulse is inside the sheath. Yeah. So yeah, to allow the impulse. You see, that's why I said it looks like what? Yeah. I didn't say anything, guys. I'm sorry. I didn't say anything. Yeah, but that's the truth. All right. They're saying that, okay, A is the branches of the dendrite, the axon. This is the axon, yes. And then this is the dendrite, all right? Identify neuron shown above, motor neuron, so we know that. Using A, B, C, D, give the correct sequence of the transmission of impulse. This is the path. Okay, it means that it's C, it's B, it's A. Done. They are saying that explain the speed of transmission of impulse will differ to 1 and 2. Remember that the function of the sheath, the function of the myelin sheath is to insulate and speeds up the transmission of impulse. If they ask you what is the function of the myelin sheath, is to insulate and transmit the impulse, insulate and speeds up the transmission of the impulse. So it means that this one which is unmyelinated, meaning that the one which has no sheath, it has no myelin sheath, then it means that it will be slow. Why? Because remember, this is the electricity. It's like wires which are covered in the sheath and the wires which are not covered in the what? In the sheath. You see? So you see that the one which are covered in the sheath, they are easy to the electricity is easy to be transported. It is easy. So asking you, Bani, man, mute yourself. When not Susan, mute yourself. Susan, mute yourself. All right, okay, we continue. The next question. It's saying, explain why the person huh? Okay, it's fine. They're saying that explain how the speed of impulse will differ in the 1 and 2. Obviously, 1, it will be gonna be faster. Why? Because it has the myelin sheath, which uh, insulate and speeds up the impulse, while in neuron 2, which has no myelin sheath. Yes. Explain why the person will feel the stimulus but will not be able to respond if only the type of neuron is damaged. Explain why the person will feel. Now they're asking you to explain. In most cases, they ask you what will happen if this neuron is damaged, meaning that the person will be able to feel, will be able to detect the stimulus, but won't be able to respond. Don't say we won't be able to withdraw the hand or we won't be able to do whatever. It is to respond or to yes, to the stimulus. So now they're saying explain why the person will be able to feel but won't be able to respond if only this type of neuron is damaged. Why? Because the sensory neuron is working. So the receptor will be able to detect, will send the impulse via the sensory neuron, but the motor neuron will not be able to transmit the impulse to the effector. Hey, winner, don't say that. Don't say that the second name of the myelin sheath is the condom of the nerve. No. Hey guys, hey, I was just giving an example. Huh. Aibo. Aibo. Hi learners. Why did I even say it? Uh-uh. Hey, I give up. Hey, I give up, guys. Let's continue, guys. With the next question. Hey, you're gonna make me laugh and cry tears. All right, what is A? It is the what? The iris. B is the lens. C, it is the suspensor ligaments. It is Now look at these layers. This is the first layer. This is the second layer, and then this is the third layer. So the automatically this is sclera, this is choroid, and then this is the retina. Then this one is called the yellow spot. Okay, they're saying identify part C. Guys, we have done a lot now. We have done a lot. Okay, once I finish this paper, I will, you see, I've done a lot. Okay, now if I find a question which I've answered, I'm not going to repeat it. I want to answer a question on the graph, the question on the graph of what? The question on the graph of reproduction, yes. And then also a question now on the other part. All right. You're saying that state why the clearest image is formed at when the light rays fall on part D. We say that the clearest image forms on the why, because it has the highest concentration of rods and cones. Yes. Remember that cones are responsible to see in bright light. Yes, while rods are responsible to see in dim light. Yes. And then we got the next question that they're saying explain explain one way in which B structure is suited. So what structure different from F? Eh? B. Where is B? B, yes. Remember these are tough muscles. And then F, these are elastic muscles. Remember, these are elastic muscles, these ones. Yeah, they can relax, they can loosen, and they can become tightened. While these ones, yeah, so that they're able to hold the lens in position. While this one, they are responsible for protection. You see? Yes, they're saying that, explain one, okay. Describe how the muscles in A function to increase the amount of light entering the eye. Describe the amount of light entering the eye. Function increase, meaning that A, what is A? It is the iris. Meaning that when do we have the amount of light entering the eye is too much, meaning that is dim light. Remember, we said that in dim light, we mix things up. And that's why I say that that's why you switch off the lights. Those people who are married, you switch off the lights at night so that dim light can happen. R with the CC with the R. You mix things mix up, ne? Yes. So R with the CC with the R, meaning that the radio muscles contract, sacral muscles relax. So that's it. That's what they want. They say they describe the muscles. They are not talking about anything else. So radio muscles contract, sacral muscles relax. Then the diameter of the pupil will dilate. Yes, the diameter of the pupil will what? Dilate. And then now that's when you see that more light will do what? Will enter the what? The eye. So you guys, you see that things are simple, are easy to pass. Yeah, we're gonna pass, man. Yeah, we're gonna pass. I repeat it that no one is gonna fail. No one is gonna fail. Yes. Describe the process of hearing. We explained it. Make sure that you know the function and the part of the ear. Make sure that when you are describing this, know part of the function, part and 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 the function of the ear. And then now you say, talk about this, talk about this, you talk about this, you talk about this, you talk about this, you talk about this. Then like that. That is hearing. Part and the function, part and the function, then you are done. Study until guys, I need to go home. Come on. All right. They're saying, what is part D? Let's look at part D. Remember, this is the outer layer. Remember, it forms the outer layer, which is called chorion. So the outer layer of the embryo is called chorion. So it means that part D is chorion. Simple. What is this fluid inside where the baby is kicking from? It's called amnion. What is this? What is this thing really? It's called the placenta. What is this thing really? It's called the umbilical cord. What is D? Now we know. Chorion. State two function of C. Now they're asking you the two functions of the amnion. Prevents dehydration, allows free movement. It is a shock absorber. So you talk about all that. Guys, this is the thing where students get wrong. They get wrong when they talk about amnion. Amnion is not responsible for nutrition. It's not for kids don't drink amnion, guys. There is a lot of kids who always talk about amnion is for nutrition. You get zero. I'm telling you. Zero. with the eyes. Joking. So amnion, it is well stipulated. I don't want to go there because it's getting late now, but I don't want to go there. But it's well stipulated in our distinction material book that this is what you suck. They are there. But that's function of placenta. They are there. Function of the amnion. We say that provides cushion against mechanical injury, prevents dehydration, keeps temperature almost constant, and then it allows free movement of the baby. Allows free movement, yeah? Yes, it allows free movement of the baby. Yes, allows the developing baby to move freely in the womb. That's it. They're saying that state two ways in which A functions in protecting the developing fetus. What is A? You come back and see what is A. Where is A? Oh, it acts as a barrier. Yes, it's a micro, it's a micro filter. Yes, it filters. Yes, it filters. Then it's microfilter. Then number two, so it filters basically. That's why we say that if the person, the mother is HIV positive, the baby may not be HIV positive if all precautions are what are being done. Yeah. So yeah. They say name two. Name two ways in which part it functions in protecting the number two. It also provides the antibodies, the antigens, the antibodies, so that it's able to protect the baby from the what? From the the foreign particles. We call them what? The pathogens. Yes. That's the best language I should have used from pathogens. Yes. Remember that the placenta also produces progesterone after 12 weeks. Then the corpus luteum is no longer working. It's now the placenta. They can ask you that question that on the menstrual cycle, and they ask you that what will happen if this is like it's no longer producing that. So, it is if it is no longer producing it's no longer producing progesterone. What will happen after 12 weeks? So they can ask you that. Describe how the nutrition of the fetus differs from that of. Basically, that one of the fetus in the humans, it uses the umbilical cord. You see, yes, it uses the umbilical cord, meaning that the nutrients are coming from the mother. While those ones of oviparous, they are not connected to the mother, so the nutrients come from the egg yolk. That's why it's called oviparous. Yes, oviparous. Calculate the percentage increase. So now we have seen it now. So I think 23, page 23. Page 23. I'll come back to that lastly. So now what I'm going to do is just terminologies. Then after that, I'm going to go talk about the graph for menstrual cycle. I'm going to scroll down. If I find a question interesting, then I tell you. Yes. Okay. Part of the skull that protects the brain, cranium. Homeostatic process whereby temperature is controlled in the body. Thermoregulation. Visual defect characterized by the cloudy of the lens. Cataracts, 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 cataracts. Yes, this one. This is the cataracts we are talking about. Cataracts, cloudy of the lens, becomes opaque, meaning that it cannot allow light to go through. All right. They're saying that the blood vessels that transport the oxygenated blood from the fetus towards the placenta, meaning it's away from the baby. So that is umbilical artery. You see, we said it away artery. Yes, so we talked about that. Then they are saying that the part of the brain that controls temperature, that is hypothalamus, the branch of the nervous system that is made up of peripheral spinal nerves and cranial nerves, that is peripheral nervous system. Finger-like projection that develop an outer membrane of the embryo, we say that is chorionic villi. Yes, we have talked about this. We have also done all of this. The hormone that regulates the amount of salt in the body, that is aldosterone. The fluid that protect the developing fetus against mechanical injury, fluid, that is amniotic fluid. The area of the retina that contains highest concentration of cones, that is yellow spot. Plant hormone that inhibits germination, abscisic acid, functional connection between two successive neurons, that is the synapse. A hormone that stimulates the puberty, that is puberty. He didn't specify, not male, not female. It's both A and B. Yes, the I. So this one shows that, okay, this is bright light. No. Dim light, bright light, super dim light. Okay, the dim light, because look at the diameter of the pupil and the diameter of the pupil. They're saying name and the letter and the name of the part that muscles, okay, which contain muscles. Let me get it up. They're saying that name the letter and the part of the name the letter and the name give the letter and the name of the part that contains muscles. So which part contains muscles? Which part contains muscles? It is this. Which muscles that? The radial muscles and the sacral muscles. Remember I said that the iris is like this. It's like this. And the space there is the pupil. And then I drew it like this. And then I said that the one which move like this in the circular way, we call them circular muscles. The one which move like this, we say they are radial muscles. They are radial muscles. You see? Don't you see that it looks like this thing? Yes. So that is the part B. They're saying that made up of tough white fibrous tissue. It is A. That is the sclerotic muscles or sclera. Which diagram want to represent the eye of the person in bright light? In a very bright light. Oh, very bright light. It is diagram 2, where the rods are stimulated. Remember, rods are working in a dim light. Yes, where rods are stimulated most. Yes, even here rods are stimulated, but the word most makes diagram 3 to be the most correct answer. Then they're saying which muscles are contracted, diagram 2. Contracted in diagram 2. Which muscles are contracted in diagram? Remember, this is pupillary mechanism, and then this is bright light. In bright light, we don't mix them up. Radial muscles relax, circular muscles contract. So it means that circular muscles are the one which is contracting. Then relaxed in diagram 3. Diagram 3 is dim light. Remember, in dim light, we switch the lights off, and then we mix things up. So R with the C, C with the R, C with the R. Meaning that what relaxes is the circular muscles. Again, it is circular muscles. So you guys will see how you answer these questions. The things are going to be easy for you guys. They're going to be easy for you. I promise you. The ear, I still need to start studying only the neurons and the function of, okay. Someone saying I knew. All right. I think it is time to start this. Let me check, guys. Let me check. All right. It's almost there. Okay, let me just quote this and then I will start with it. Page 26. Page 26. Okay. This one is a zobza. We have talked about the zobza several times. The type of, okay, identify this. This is a seminovesical, prostate gland, urethra, and then this is the testis. Okay, identify structure A. We have done. Give the function of D. D is urethra. To allow semens, transmit semen out of the male's reproductive structure. Yeah. So they take the semens into the vagina, okay? Actually not vagina, out of the female's reproductive structure. Because there are some people, yes, they are not necessarily taking the sperms into the vagina. Maybe they are going to do these other methods of what? Reproduction. You understand? Yes. Whereby they take them into the test tubes and then the baby is developed from there. All right. We are saying that give 2 reasons why B is not considered to be endocrine. B. Why is it? Because they have tubes. They have tubes. They secrete this the secretion where they are needed. Yes, you see these ones. They don't secrete the secretion into the bloodstream. Remember, endocrine, they have to secrete the secretion into the bloodstream. But here, there's no bloodstream. Then they're saying that name the type of gametogenesis this occurs in C, because this is the male and the sperm, so it becomes spermatogenesis. Explain how the secretion of A and B improve in the chances of fertilization. A and B. We say that A provide nutrients. Someone is asking me, please do life science grade 11. Yes, grade 11, we are going to do it just maybe around 9 o'clock. Ne? Yes, 9 o'clock. Yeah, grade 11 is going to be done. Right, they're saying that name 2, explain how the secretion. Okay, we just talk about the function of this and the function of this. And then we say that this one provide nutrients which allow the sperms to move. Yes, nutrients. Yeah. So they give the sperm energy, like the nutrients. And then this one, it tries to neutralize the acidic. They provide alkaline fluid which neutralizes the acidity of the what? Of the vagina. So sperm A, hey guys, describe the structure B in fertilization. It contains what? It contains genetic information. It for inheritance. What is A? Is a chromosome. Explaining why the organelles in found in large quantities in C. Yes, because to provide energy so that the sperm can provide the organelles are new and mitochondrion, because they say the organelles. So mitochondrion, which provides energy, yes, for the movement of the what? Of the sperm. Explain 2 ways. Explain 2 reasons why sperm 1 is structurally better than sperm 2. Yes, sperm 1 has a long tail, yes, which provides a strong propulsion force for forward movement. That's number 1. They say the 2 reasons structurally better. Then sperm 1 has a chromosome which contains enzymes for digesting the membrane of the ovum during fertilization. This one, no. If you look at also the shape of the sperm, this one is circle, this one is pointed. See, this one, it releases, it prevents the what? It helps in the flow of what? It prevents friction. Yes, friction. There we go. Hormone. Yeah, I think now I'm getting there. Okay. There we go. There we go. This is the question I wanted also. This is the question I wanted, so that once I'm done with this, then I'm able to do the last tip. Okay, they're saying that hormones. You have hormone. Name 2 functions of hormone B. What is hormone B now? I need to know what is hormone B. Remember, when we go back to our menstrual cycle, I told you that it is simple. It's simple. Where are you? It is simple to do the, yes, just draw a cross and then you say FSH flop, 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 whereby this one works there, this one works there, this one works there, that one works there. So now when we come back to our question, if we did our flop like this, yes, we shall see that there is a hormone which works here, there is a hormone which works there. You see, we said flop. So we say this one flop, this one piece here, meaning that this one works here, this one works here, this one works here, while this one works here. So it means that this hormone is LH. So now, since I know that it's LH, now I need to know the function of LH. The function of LH is to trigger ovulation. That's number 1. Number 2, your computer is going down, man. Yeah, it's back now. All right. So it triggers ovulation. Number one, it triggers ovulation. Yes. Number two, it changes the empty Graafian follicle to corpus luteum. So now we know the two function. Explain why the female is struggling to get pregnant. Explain a female why a female who is struggling to get pregnant may be given pills containing hormone A. So basically, what is hormone A? Hormone A is follicle stimulating hormone because it increases immediately after the, you see? Yes, you see that I say that it works. You see, it works there. So is F flow. You see? Yes. So now it means that hormone A is the FSH. So if it's FSH, why? Why do we have to give a pill containing hormone A so that it to stimulate the development of the Graafian follicle, a hormone that stimulates the development of the Graafian follicle? Yes. So that now the ovum can be what? Produced. So will have her level of B constantly monitored. Why will the person who is having problems with the getting pregnant will have this hormone to be monitored? They will know that the moment that level that hormone is too high, so the chances of them to be fertilized are high. You understand? The chances of it to be fertilized, they are high. So that person, that's when you tell the person that go for Ye- yes, go for. Yes, so that now because the moment the LH is too high. Remember, LH is for what? For triggering ovulation. So that if the level of LH is high, so the high chances that the ovum has been released or the ovum is gonna be released. Therefore, we can advise the person to go for what? For for sex. All right. Explain how this level of A on 0 to 5 differ in a pregnant person. Level of A from 0 to 5 differ from the pregnant person. Yes, it will be low. Why? Because the level of progesterone, increased level of progesterone will prevent increased level of progesterone will prevent the production of FSH. So if the person is already pregnant, then it means that that person won't be able to be impregnated again. You understand why? Because the level of that's what I explained, that increase the level of progesterone will inhibit the production of FSH so that there is no new ovum which is being produced. Describe the secretion of ovarian hormone and their role. Here we are talking about the secretion of the ovarian hormones and their role, meaning that you just in the menstrual cycle. What is ovarian hormones? Hormones which are being produced uh, uh, in the secretion of the ovarian hormone, or hormones which are being produced in the ovary, meaning that you talk about the estrogen and the progesterone. All right, homeostasis and okay, let me check. Guys, I'm not repeating that. I'm not repeating that. Maybe this one. I'm not repeating that. Maybe that one. Maybe that one. Maybe that one. Still have a lot of questions. Not repeating that. Yeah, maybe that one. Okay. Let me just talk about now this. Okay, let's just label. What is A? It is tympanic membrane. What is D? It is round window. What is B? That is semicircular canals. What is C? That is cochlea. We have labeled them together. Let's go to describe the carbon dioxide. Okay, I'm gonna come back to that. They're saying that a reproductive strategy where young one receive nutrients through the placenta, that is viviparous. The duct that transports semens and the urine outside the female's body, that's urethra. Then they're saying that the part of the nervous system that consists of cranial and spinal nerves, that is the peripheral nervous system. The form in which excess glucose is stored into the liver, that is glycogen. They are saying the structure that serves as microfilter during pregnancy, that is the placenta. That's why they say that what's the function of the placenta. The pigment layer of the eye that absorbs excess pressure, that is choroid. They're saying that the part of the neuron that plays a role in the speeding up the nerve impulse is transmitted, that is myelin sheath. I said not what? The part of the male reproductive structure that is temporarily stored sperms until they mature, that is epididymis. Epididymis. That is epididymis. All right. Process that produce four mature gametes in human from a single diploid cell, that is spermatogenesis, because this one produces four, but the three of them degenerate, only one matures, that is oogenesis. They are saying that, so the answer is B, which is spermatogenesis. Defense mechanism that protect the plant against herbivores. Defense mechanisms, it's both A and B. The nerve the nerve the nerve that transmits impulse into the retina of the brain, that is all transmits impulse, the nerve that transmits impulse from the retina, meaning that that is optic nerve. Then they're saying that, okay, what is A? That is the oscos, tympanic membrane of a window, eustachian tube equalizes pressure on the other side of the tympanic membrane. This one releases pressure from the inner ear. This is the cochlea, and this is the semicircular canals. Don't forget the receptors here is maculae and cristae, while the receptors here is organ of Corti. Then this one is amplifies the vibration. If you look at it, you'll find out all those questions are being answered. Yes, I just want to talk about this. Remember, this is sperms and ovum. So the process is fertilization. Then this one is a zygote, and then the mitosis occur to form four cells. These are four cells, not ball of cells. Therefore, you can count them. And then now this is the ball of cells, which you call the morula. This is the hollow ball of cells, has a space inside, which you call the blastula. The outer layer is called the chorion. Yes, and then you're able to see that. If you check here, what is A? So we are done with that. Process that takes place at A. At A, that is fertilization. The inner wall of the uterus where E is implants itself. E, where is E? We say that the endometrium. The type of cell division that takes place at C. We say this is mitosis. Then they're saying how many chromosomes are present in H. H, remember H, it's not yet fertilized, therefore it's 23. Well, this one is 46 because now the sperm has brought and also ovum has brought. So this one is 46, and then while this one is 23. They're saying identify the extraembryonic membrane, G, which is chorion. We talked about it. Simple. This one also we done it. The male, that is seminovesicles, and then this is the testes. Explain the fluid that's secreted by the prostate gland during, what is this? Histogram, guys. I explained it to make sure that you don't leave a space there. Then lastly, they're saying that brain, which part of the brain is this? So it is cerebrum, and then this one is pituitary gland. This is medulla oblongata. See, it is the spinal cord. Cerebellum. So describe the location of the corpus callosum. It is located between two hemispheres, the left and the right hemisphere. What's the function of corpus callosum? It allows corpus callosum. It allows communication between the two hemispheres. Yes, and also connects the two hemispheres together. So you see now, they can. Oh, I saw a question here. Explain why the learner could still breathe properly. And let me read this question. I liked it. The learner suffered from brain injury during the match and he could breathe properly, but experiences loss of memory, meaning that it is this part which is being broken. But remember, breathing, no. Breathing is being controlled by medulla oblongata because that is involuntary action. So meaning that the medulla oblongata is still functioning properly. Is it possible for the injury? Is it possible that the injury affects structure B? Structure B, no, because based on this, they said, oh, they said that loss of memory and balance. Yes, because they talked about what? Balance. Remember, B is responsible for balance. And then they're saying that hearing of the learner could also affected because of the injury. Because of the what? Because of the what? The injury could. Uh, hearing of the learner could also be affected because of the injury. Yes, because hearing is a sensation which is being controlled by A. You see? Uh-huh. So what is the reflex action? We talked about it. What is the reflex act? We talked about it. What is the function of the reflex action? We talked about it. I think, guys, I'm going to go to the last part. Is it the last part? Let me just do like this. Just a moment. Last part. No, the second last part. Let me just look at this one. There is something which I want to before I go to the last. There's something which I want here. Yes, I just want it here, and then I start that the last part. Where are you? Yes, I want. Let me just use one of them. I don't want that one. Let me just use this one. I'm not going to answer the questions. Just want to talk about something small here. So guys, if because we have talked about other graphs, then let me just talk about this graph, and then yeah, we conclude with the other parts which I said I should skip. The reason why I was doing this is so that we are able to accommodate those people who are writing other papers, because their papers only stop on the year. Yes, so from the beginning until the year. So that's why I'm able to do that. All right. So we are saying that if look at the graph, the fertilization take place. Yes, fertilization took place on which day? Day 14. All right. Then they're asking you, give any evidence to show that fertilization took place. What did I say? No. Did when was the ovum being released? Ovulation. Did the ovulation take place? Yes, it took place on day 14. Any evidence we see that the ovum is being released? There is a high level of LH, so it shows that the ovulation took place. So did the fertilization take place? No. Give a reason for your answer: because of the degeneration of corpuscular and also decreasing of the level of what? Progesterone. Then sometimes we have here this thing also drops down, because when we are bringing the question, sometimes only bring this, sometimes you bring this, sometimes you bring only the graph, or sometimes you bring only this. So did the fertilization take place here? No. Why? Because this one is degenerating. The level of progesterone is dropping. And also, if you look at it here, the level of FSH is increasing towards the 28, meaning that fertilization did not take place. So, if you look at other graphs, look at this one, only they brought that. Did the fertilization take place? Yes. Look at the corpuscular. The level of corpuscular was maintained, meaning that it's still big. It remained big. You see? Yes, it shows that fertilization took place. So you need to look at it. They can ask you which hormone is being produced here. Is progesterone. What is the function? Maintains pregnancy by making the endometrium more thick, more vesicular, and more glandular. And which hormone is being produced there? It is estrogen. What is the function? Prepares the uterus for implantation by making the uterus thick, vesicular, and glandular. So this one, the progesterone, you must have the word more. Which hormone triggered ovulation is LH. Which hormone is responsible for the development of this structure? It is FSH. So all questions are answered. We go back. All right, guys. I'm going to the last part. The last part. That is page. I see that the last part. Wait, I saw something here. Yeah, remind me here. What's this? Okay. So guys, we're gonna do some questions about that. We're gonna do some questions about that. Yes, okay, just label this. So what is A? It is the pituitary gland. What is two? Guys, go when you know how to label this, ne? Yes. Now, guys, I'm on the people who are not. I'm on the people who are writing their finals in May, June. The people who are writing their June. They are writing their finals in October, no? Is it November? October, November. So this part is not involved in your exams. So the part which I'm starting now. Yes. So what is this? We say that is the pituitary gland. What is this? That is that is what? That is thyroid gland. What is this? The pancreas. What is that? That is adrenal gland. Can you tell me how many? Thank you so much, Winnie. Yeah. Thank you so much, guys, for also subscribing. Yes, I need to also appreciate you guys. Thank you so much, guys, for subscribing. Thank you so much for being here for on our channel. All right, so we go and then we say that we are saying that is the pituitary gland, that is thyroid gland. We can ask you the disorder which is as a result of the lack of iodine in the body. If you eat salt which is not iodized, so what is going to happen is going to end up having what we call you're going to end up having what we call goiter in Afrikaans. Goiter. Right. So, guys, when you're going here, you need to know at least. Okay, let me say it. There's some negative feedback mechanism you cannot leave when you are going there. Number one, thyroid stimulating hormone. TSH, the negative feedback mechanism of then the glucose, then the thermoregulation, and carbon dioxide. So those glucose, thermoregulation, carbon dioxide. Yes. So we can bring any. Yes, we can bring any. We can bring any. So let's go to page 12. I saw page 12 on the question. I wrote page 12. I don't know what is there on page 12. What's there on page 12? Page 12, page 12. Oh, here's the skin. The thermoregulation. So now they're asking you, they're saying that diagram below shows the part of the skin that involved in the thermoregulation. Remember, when you talk about thermoregulation, it has the sweat gland, the sweat duct, the sweat pore, then the sweat on top. So this is the blood capillaries, of which when you look at this, you need to look at this. Let me just show you so that I'm faster. Yes, these are the blood capillaries. When you see that the blood capillaries, the shunt is big, it means that the blood is passing down, meaning that this person is cold there. But if you look at them, they are big here, then it means that the person is what? Is under a hot day. Yes. So when we come back here, give two reasons why part A is classified as exocrine, because it has a duct. You see, it has a what? It has a duct. Yes, they're saying they describe okay, it has a duct and then they secrete the secretion outside the what? The skin, meaning that there is no blood which is involved in the transportation of the secretion. Describe the role of the skin receptor in thermoregulation. Basically, the skin is very important in detecting and changing the stimulus into a nerve impulse, yeah, which can be detected. Yes. Someone is saying something. Let me just check and see. You have to. Okay. They're saying that explain why structure B is dilates during hot day. Structure B. Why does it dilate? The blood vessels near the skin, why do they dilate during hot day? So that more blood is sent near the skin. You understand? Remember, during hot day, what happens? The hypothalamus is stimulated, sends the impulse to the blood vessels of the skin. The blood vessels of the skin will dilate. When they dilate, more blood flows near the skin, and then heat is lost to the surrounding. And then now more blood is sent to the sweat gland. The sweat gland becomes more active, and then now the sweat gland becomes more active. More sweat is being produced during in the process of what evaporation, leading to the cooling of the body. This is what I'm trying to say. That during hot day, hypothalamus is stimulated, impulse sent. The hypothalamus will detect and sends the impulse to the blood vessels of the skin. The blood vessels will dilate, meaning that we call it vasodilation. All this blue mark is a mark. Blue words is a mark. More blood will flow near the skin, the sweat, and then heat is lost. More heat is lost from the skin. More blood is sent to the sweat gland. The sweat gland becomes more active, and then if it becomes more active, okay, what happens? And then we say that this, because there is too much evaporation. This water requires heat to evaporate it. So it leads to the cooling of the what? Cooling of the body. Yes. Then during cold day is the reverse. And then we won't be able to see this blood. I gave different examples here. Let me just like this one. They're asking you which person is hot day. You see that this one is hot day. You see the skin having the sweat, and then you see that the blood vessels are dilated. Here the blood vessels are constricted, meaning that here is vasodilation. Therefore, the person is under hot day. You see the sweat, the person is under hot day. There is no sweat, and the blood vessels are constricted. So, can bring and talk about it. Yes. And then page 14. Let me go to page 14. Page 14, I don't know what was there. Yeah, this one is about abscisic acid. Describe which month. Remember that abscisic acid is the one which works in winter, and then gibberellin works in summer. Why gibberellin is responsible for production, is responsible for what? Gibberellin is responsible for germination. So that is summer. You understand? When water is there, it's able to give out the what? The it's able to give out the how they call it? They call it sprouting. Yes, they germinate. So it's because of the gibberellin. And then abscisic acid, it is very common in what? In winter. So what are they saying? During which month was abscisic acid concentration lowest? Which month? Abscisic acid. Is this abscisic acid? Obviously, I see it's November. Why November? Because that is super summer. Explain the trend of the graph. Here they're asking why is, you tell us that it increases from March to May, and then from May to November it decreases. Give a reason. Because of dormancy in this is winter. This is winter period. You understand? So the seeds are supposed to be what? Dormant. Yes, during winter, so that there is less growth of these seeds due to lack of or shortage of water. So just one reason why dormancy in trees are why is one reason why do we have dormancy during winter? Did they talk about it here? What did they say? That the graph will show tree during the season, the tree species lose all the leaves in autumn and goes into a state of dormancy during winter. So now they're asking you, give one reason why there is dormancy in the tree during winter. Because there is limited water during winter. Therefore, it minimizes the amount of water which is being lost to the what? To the atmosphere, so that it's able to conserve. I'm seeing page 15. Describe page 15. What was on page 15? They're saying describe the secretion of adrenaline. Yeah, I explained this. So more will be sent to the sweat glands. How is adrenaline bringing Page 23. Page 23. I want to add you some two questions, ne? Some two questions. Page 23, I think I explained it. Yes, I explained it, but what are they saying? Percentage increase. We said it's final minus initial divided by initial times 100. So that is it. Describe the negative feedback mechanism of thyroxine. Guys, I told you that when you do this, make sure that you do normal. And then when say it increase here, the last step here is decrease. And when they say decrease, the last step here is increase. Then you tell me the gland which is involved there, and the gland, which hormone does it produce. Then this one, the hormone, what's the function of that hormone, and then that is going to link back to that normal. So I explained this very well. So let me just get a question there so that I'm able to maybe give you the last highlight. Okay, there is another question here. Yeah, I said someone is asking me percentage decrease. In most cases, we say that still initial, final minus initial divided by initial. If the answer becomes negative, it is a percentage decrease. But, ne? The actual formula of it is, but I'm going to confuse you. Just do divide by, okay, just do this, guys. Ne? I said it, a percentage decrease, just say divide by initial, say big minus small. Whether it's percentage increase or percentage decrease, it will give you the perfect answer. Big minus small. Yes. So what you have seen as big, put it there. If it was the initial, put it as initial. As small, if it was the final, put it as final. If it was, because percentage increase is final minus initial divided by final minus initial divided by initial. That is percentage increase. Percentage decrease is initial minus final divided by initial. So it's always initial, you divide. But if you look at it, you will see that what is big minus what is small times 100. You understand? You will get it whether it's percentage increase or percentage what? Decrease. You will get it right. Yes. So Kensani, please make sure that you use the same what? The same method. Look at which figure is big, which figure is small. Big minus small divided by. And this percentage increase or decrease, it can go more than 100. It can be 200%. Yes, for example, if your initial is 2 and your final is 10, your initial is 2, your final is 10. So you're going to say final minus initial times final minus initial times 100. You'll see that your final is 10, your initial is 2. Yes, divide by 2. You see that this is 8 divided by 2. What is this? 8 times 100. What is this? This is 4. Is 4 times 100, which gives you 400. You see, percent. So it can be even more than what? It can be even more than what? 100. Yes. So if you get an answer which is bigger than that and then you get scared, don't be scared. Your answer is still correct. Okay, we go to this one. They're saying that okay, now gland. This is gland B, which is the thyroid gland, and then this thyroid gland produces a hormone, which we don't know, and then the pituitary gland, okay, we don't know, and then you see a hormone A. Thyroid gland, which gland is produced by a thyroid gland, is thyroxine. It's being detected maybe by the pituitary gland. Okay. And then pituitary gland will produce TSH, isn't it? Then it goes back to here. And then gland B is able to regulate whether it wants more or wants less. Name the type of interaction shown above. That's the negative feedback mechanism. Give gland B. Gland B, it's the thyroid gland. Hormone A. Hormone A is TSH because it is TSH. It's the thyroid gland. It is the pituitary gland which produces TSH. TSH goes to the thyroid gland because the hormone that stimulates the thyroid gland, TSH. So it means that A, it is a thyroid TSH, while C, it is thyroxine. Then they're saying hormone C is thyroxine, named the disorder resulting in B overstimulated. It is called hyperthyroidism. It is overstimulated. Overstimulated and becomes enlarged. Okay, that it named the disorder that resulted in B being overstimulated. So this is what they are looking for. This is what they are talking about. Yes, it's overstimulated and then leads to the enlargement of it. So this is it. You see, hyperthyroidism. You see, yes. So the neck is becomes the that big baba. They're saying that which, and then the goiter is when there is lack of iodine. So if it is overstimulated, yes, overworking, then and due to lack of iodine, then definitely goiter will punch in as a condition. Yes. All right. Which hormone A, B will be expected to be high in the blood when the person disorder above? Huh? Which hormone A or B? Which hormone A or B will be high in the blood? Yeah, definitely it is this. It is hormone A. Why? Because hormone A is gonna stimulate the thyroid gland to overwork. Yes. So that is it. Do I have any other question there? Yeah, I have other questions which yeah, there is another this one here. This one high glucose level gland, and then gland A, and then liver, and then yeah. Okay, we see that high glucose level. You see what I said? If you have high glucose level, I expect this one now to drop. So if you have high glucose level, the gland will produce that hormone, and then what is the function of that hormone? So if it is pancreas, obviously, and then they are saying hormone. Pancreas will produce insulin. Insulin will go to the liver, stimulate the liver to convert glucose into glycogen, and then the level of glucose will drop. And then if here I have too much, if I have too low, it means that now the gland A, pancreas, will produce glucagon, which is going to be stimulate the liver to convert glycogen back to glucose, and then the level increases. So basically that is it. They're saying what is gland A? Gland A, gland A, gland A, gland A. We said is pancreas. Hormone is C. Hormone is C. It is hormone is C. We said is glucagon. A certain disorder caused by the decrease in the production of B. So we said is diabetes mellitus. Diabetes mellitus. Okay. Explain how this affects the blood glucose level. Explain how this hormone B. Hormone B. Okay. Explain a disorder when there's decrease in the production of B. Explain. There will be increase in the blood glucose level, and then this person will suffer from what called the diabetes mellitus. Diabetes mellitus. Yes. Don't just say sugar diabetes. It's called diabetes mellitus. I told you that guys, that is diabetes mellitus. We don't want those stories you usually say. We say it is diabetes mellitus. Diabetes mellitus. Yes. So the blood glucose level is the glucose level in the blood is going to increase due to less conversion of glucose into glycogen by the liver. Yes, and the person will suffer from diabetes. Name the disorder. That's it. Diabetes mellitus. The scientists have been they're saying that scientists have been investigating the use of adrenaline treatment for people who can't produce C. Explain why the treatment may work. Scientists have been investigating the use of adrenaline as person. Okay, all right. Meaning that remember that in the case of emergence, glycogen is stimulated to be converted into glucose, so that now the muscles can have enough glucose and they can fight. So you see that the adrenaline can work. It works like glucagon. You understand? So that is able to be stimulated. It stimulates the liver so that now the glycogen can be converted into glucose. Someone saying 3.4. It's 3.4 now. There's some question which we have already answered. I don't see 3.4 here. Surely. Okay, thank you guys. More TC. You guys sometimes you send me nice comments and they make me smile. Man. They make me smile, man. Yeah, ish, guys. I think that is it. No, wait. Something, something. I want to show you this. I want to show you this. Just want to show you guys this. We have exhausted the questions I want. Explain. We explain all this. Name the hormone, which is it is auxins. Name the external stimulus at A. That is phototropism, that is light, and then this that is geotropism, so that is gravity. So, okay, there's something which I want. Ish. Where's my question, guys? Here. So when you cut here, when you cut here, what does it mean? It means that you are cutting off the auxins. I don't see my question. Guys, if I don't see that question, I'm sorry. It's not there. Where did I put it? Okay, let me use this one. Let me just use this one. Just going to use it as investigative question. Okay, let me just you can use that. It's fine. Let me just use this one. If I have three plant which we call the how do you call them? We call them the shoots, yes. So if I have a shoot like this, remember that auxins are growth promoters. Auxins are growth promoters in shoots and growth inhibitors in roots. Meaning that the high concentration of auxin, if I have too much auxin on this side, now this side is gonna grow faster than this side. Why? Because auxins are sensitive to light. But now, if it is the shoot, if it's the root, the lower level is going to have too much auxins, and then it means that the upper part is going to grow faster than the lower side. Do you understand? Remember, in roots, auxins are growth inhibitors. Do you understand? So now, now, so what does it mean? It means that what does it mean? It means that here it inhibits, so the root is gonna bend downwards, while here this one is it promotes in shoot, so it means that it's gonna bend like that. We explained it before, but now they can ask you a question. What's that now? They can ask you a question. They can ask you a question. They can ask a question that what will happen to this if this is agar plate without auxins, then agar plate with auxins. Agar plate is just a plate which has agar is just a food which we use. It's like soil in a lab which we use to culture, to grow things. We can grow bacteria, we can grow plants, we can grow what? It's just like soil, but it's not soil. It's just a chemical nyana. Yes. So now, if I put agar plate, what will happen here? This one will not grow. This one, C, will not grow. This one will grow, but not that faster than this. But what if I put the agar plate there with the auxins there? It means that now this one will bend like this. It will bend. It means that now, my drawing, this side will have more auxins than this side. So it means that the side which has more auxins is gonna grow faster. So it means that this thing is gonna grow like this with your agar plate there. You see? So please make sure that you know what you the direction where you're supposed to go. I saw a message here, someone is saying, sir, do page 120. Hey guys, I'm done. I'm done, completely done. Completely done, Kensani. Completely done. I'm going to even to give you the what is 122. What is it all about? Which trophy they're asking you which type of tropism being illustrated in the diagram above. So you are putting this thing down, né? So what are they saying? That they're saying that A shows the upright port, and then diagram B shows the port that is on the week after falling. Okay, the plant was exposed to uniform light from all direction before and after falling, meaning that light is gonna come like this. Yes. So if the light is coming from up, meaning that now this one is gonna bend going up, meaning that now the auxins will go on the dark side. And if they are on the dark side, then the dark side is gonna grow faster than the illuminated side. You understand? We just do like this. This one they are disturbing me with the WhatsApp. Good. Okay, so the dark side will grow faster than the illuminated side, and then making the plant to grow straight. So now what are they saying? Which type of tropism which is being illustrated in B? This is ground. Uh, they are saying is let me just explain here. Let me just read here. Show the upright port diagram. Okay, X was exposed in unilateral light from all the direction, uniform light from before and after. So when you say unilateral light, if this is the sun, or the light is coming like this, the light comes, yes. So and then after falling, definitely the lower side will not have light. Then automatically it's gonna be phototropism. So it's bending to the source of what? The source of light. But still there, it is being helped by also by two things. That is gravity, because now the auxins will go on the lower side. And remember, in shoots, the auxins they stimulate the what? The growth. You understand? So the lower side will grow. Even if the light is still striking straight, if they expose light everywhere, if they expose light everywhere, then it means that what made the auxins to go down is because of the gravity. Yes. So now they're saying that which type of tropism is illustrated in B? So since it is being distributed now all over, then it can be geotropism, but it is positively, eh? It is negatively geotropic. Explain why the stem are bent upwards as a result of diagram B, because now the auxins were pulled downwards. You understand? So the lower side grown it grew faster than the upper side, leading to the auxin, leading to the shoot to bend upwards. Then they are saying that explain why the advantage of the upward bending of the stem could have for the plant, so that it's able to receive enough sunlight. You understand? So when it bends now upwards, now it is able to receive enough sunlight as it is growing up. Because if it was still down, then the tree wouldn't have been what? Able to receive enough sunlight to carry out what? Photosynthesis. Explain how the root in diagram B would react. Explain how the root in diagram B, then the root in diagram B would have grown downwards. Why? Because auxins are always still they're gonna go down, but remember in the root it inhibits growth. Therefore, what is gonna happen? Then the root, the part which has no auxins is gonna grow faster than the part which has the what? The auxins, and then the root is gonna bend downwards. Let me do a recall for you. Just guys, please know how to draw the structure of the sperm. The structure of the sperm. Is there anything which I haven't talked about? Let me remember. Huh? I've not. I think I've talked about every. Let me check. Oh yeah, they just. Okay, let me just talk about it. How do you increase the liability of the experiment, guys? Whenever they ask you to increase the liability of the experiment, you repeat the experiment and then you increase the sample size. But don't just say increase the sample size. No, you say that you increase the sample size. How many times did they increase the sample size? Look at the question and tell us how many times they increase the sample size. And how many did they repeat the experiment? Use Please, this question you have to answer it based on the tense they have used. How do you? How could they? How did they? How? So it depends. What did they do? So if it is past tense,